dito bumaba.
Ikaw na bahala, bro.
Eh, di dito na lang tayo bumaba sa kill house para may magandang loot. G. Hala, nasaan yung isa? Ba't nawala?
Wait, ang layo ko sa kanila.
Tara, dito. Loot muna mga boss, wag agre ha.
Gelods.
Okay. Outs, may bumaril sa akin. Ingat. Teka, mag-EMP drone ako.
Ba't ayaw bumaril? Sugurin natin siya in 3, 2... Hoy, saan ka pupunta?
Uy, teka lang.
Akin first kill, mga loot.
Huli ka pa, Bon.
Well, sabi ko sandali, tignan mo nangyari. Ano to? Tago dito.
ADS yun na para nakaanggulo. Punta ako sa taas para mas maganda view ko sa kanya. Okay na position ko dito.
Yari sa akin tong mga to. Ay, putik. Papick up naman ng dog tag ko.
Laban, sa likod mo.
Awi?
Pasalamat ka na patay ko para sa'yo. Ay. Ano yung ginagawa mo?
Nakapulot ako ng legendary weapon. Nandito na yung zone. Tara,
Hello, okay ka lang?
Sumilip ka, yari ka.
Patay ka. Sige.
Malas.
Paubos na bala ko.
Yo, okay lang kayo?
Low health yung defender.
Huwag kayong mag-alala. Andito na ako. Ito, mag-fix muna tayo.
What's up, madlang people? Solo, watch it! This is it. Go big or go home.
4 versus 1. Baka manalo.
Wala pa ako napapatay. Time to get my first kill.
I'm Snoop Deal Double G, fool. The dog father always wins.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Magandang gabi. And tonight will be the final night grand finals of Squad Out Season 6, the Battle Royale Tournament of Colicx Gaming in cooperation with XtobaL'z Gaming. And this event is also brought to you by GienuaGaming, Monsta Gaming, and MommyOhhw Gaming. So please don't forget to support them as well because walang Squad Out Season 6 kung wala yung mga sponsors natin. And again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is I, Colicx Gaming, who's gonna be your host for tonight. And syempre, ang nagagapuhan sa mga TV screens natin, we have Gaming with Dad on to my left side and napakapoging Sensi Gaming on to my right side. So there you go. So kamusta naman ang mga casters natin for today and gaano kayo ka-excited for tonight's Grand Finals? Sensi.
Ako, syempre, napaka-excited sa Grand Finals na. Syempre, no, kakabalik lang natin sa BR. And ngayon, itatapon tayo sa Grand Finals kaagad kung saan naglalakihang mga pangalan ang magbubugbugan dito. Noong kapanahunan ko pa, pero hanggang ngayon, andito pa rin sila tumatayo sa ating karapan. Kaya napaka-excited ako dito sa ating bugbugan mamaya, Colicx.
There you go. Thank you very much, Sensi Gaming. Who is Dad? Gaming with Dad.
Hey kids, it's Dad, and it all comes down to this. We have had our matches for the past few days already, from the semifinals, quarterfinals, and all. Now we have our 24. These are the best of the best that we've had so far. It's going to be an action-packed evening. So I suggest you get comfortable, take a good seat, get your internet connections upright, and we're going to have an absolutely great time ngayong gabi.
There you go. Speaking of the game for tonight, mabigat yung mga players. Mabigat ang ating lineup for the Grand Finals. Here comes our teams for the Grand Finals nga. And that will be discussed by Sensi Gaming and Quiz Gaming with that.
Let's get it on, of course. Taking slot number 1, as you know, it's VVV Vici. Taking slot number 2, that's 4 Kings, and then followed by XIII Academy. Vacabonds Esports was just fresh from their matchup kanina lamang. NRX 69, another big name in the industry. Dream Crushers Valyrian taking slot number 6. TNC Blackfyre joining us as well, taking slot number 7. SDPH Apocalypse at slot number 8. KLN2 Altruism at 9. Cerulrean Esports Legion, a familiar name from my end, taking slot number 10. Sola, Fide, Magnus at 11. And of course, TNC Supremo. We just watched these guys square it off kanina lamang, and they're back taking slot number 12.
And ngayon, no, sa ating other half, we have M13, Narcotic Reborn, N14, Crisis, Kings, Era, Zira. Ang haba, grabe. Pero 15 natin dito. Riley Ares, P16, PTG Meraki, Q17, kakagaling lang fresh from bugbugan, NRX 420, R18, Royal Kings, S19, KLN2 Danger, T20, Lotus Vigor, U21, your worst nightmare Hades, V22, Hashira Esports, Homura, W23 will be TNC Emperors, and next 24, AOB Esports.
All right, so that will be the lineup for the Grand Finals, and definitely we have seen the gameplays on fire from yesterday's semi-finals, and definitely mas magiging mainit yung laban natin ngayon kasi this will be the final match of the Squad Out Season 6. But then again, moving on. Okay, moving on. Alam ko sa mga viewers natin dyan, excited na kayo makita yung mga teams ninyo, yung mga players ninyo to get into the game. But moving on to our pointing system, we have MVP player, MVP team will be owning 15 points. Second placer will be having 13 points. Third placer will be 11 points. Fourth placer will be 9 points. Fifth placer will be having 7 points. Sixth placer will be having 5 points. 7 to 8. 4 points, 9 to 10 will be 3 points, 11 to 15 will be 1 point, 16 to 25 will be 0 points. Kill point system natin dito will be 1 kill is equivalent to 1 point. So our total computation for this event, for this match, will be placement plus kill points for this match. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, 4 rounds. ISO BO will be the gameplay right now. And definitely, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, disconnection on the stream. Wait.
Yep. Medyo, we have some technical difficulties with our stream ngayong gabi.
Gusto bumaba?
Ikaw na bahala, bro.
Eh di dito na lang tayo bumaba sa kill house para may magandang loot. G. Hala, nasaan yung isa? Ba't nawala?
Wait, ang layo ko sa kanila.
Tara, dito. Loot muna mga boss, wag agre ha.
KLOTS.
Okay. Outs! May bumaril sa akin! Ingat! Teka, mag-EMP drone ako.
Alright, welcome back again. Not quite sure what happened in there, pero mukhang bumalik na ang ating stream. Again, to all of our viewers, please don't forget to like and share the stream because definitely tonight will be, the battle will be on fire. And again, to all of our viewers, there will be no cheer points for tonight because definitely after the round number 4, we will be flashing you the overall score. So malalaman din natin ngayong gabi dito sa live kung sino yung magiging champion natin for the match. And another information, our defending champion for Squad Out Season 6, that will be Vacabonds Esports. Let's see if they will be able to get a back-to-back win again this Season 6 because definitely marami na magagaling na mga players, marami na rin magagaling na teams for the BR scene. So, definitely, Xezy, what is your anticipation? First round pa lang na ating match.
First round natin dito, yung mga galing ng ating career survivors, they might take a slower path dito to replenish their strength. Sabi na kanina dito yung kanilang vigor nila, yung kanilang joke lang. Yung kanilang yung kanilang energy dito na natitira sa ating squad out. So we have 4 rounds dito. Maybe they can stall out the 2 rounds na dito. They could set up for the placement points. And given that there are veterans dito, they know how to position themselves on the map, how they can stall the time here, how can they defend the high grounds dito towards their advantage and just survive the final circle. And then once you get onto the 3rd game, pwede na kayong bumakbak dito. Kasi syempre, ito sila, mga batak to sila. So, hindi kagad din mapapagod eh. Kailangan na ng konting pahinga. Oo, kasi 6 rounds din yun. Medyo mahaba rin yung 6 rounds. Pero, yun na yung mga veterans natin dito. They will be finding some ways kasi veterano sila. But, that leaves another discussion para sa ating mga hindi kasali sa Garena Survivors. Pwede nilang gamit yung chance na ito para rumatsada sa simula pa lang.
Yes, definitely. But checking on the bracket list, sa tingin mo, Kuis Dad, who will be getting the W for the first game natin?
Well, that's gonna be a tough call to answer. I mean, it could be anyone from this lineup. Could either be, one of the veterans like VVV or anyone from NRX or Vacabonds Esports for all that matter, or even TNC. As Xezy already said, there's gonna be a possible question there of whether they pull the brakes first for the first half or not. But again, the question, this is what I was going to raise. The question for the kids who were not part of the Garena Survivors, how fresh are they coming in to the match right now? Did they have their own warm-ups? Or talagang right off the bat, this will be their first matchup for the evening? That's gonna be playing a big factor as well from them. Kasi kumbaga wala kang warm-up. You're gonna be jumping in against all of these humongous names in the industry. That's gonna be a big toll on you. So it will actually gonna be played, but I would have to say anyone who survives, let's say in this case we are starting at Blackout, so anyone who survives the first 5 minutes with at least 3 to 4 kills may have a chance already. We might see them at the final 4. Yun yung medyo initial prediction ko dyan. When we hit the isolation, I don't think anybody will be jumping straight away to platform. Some might, because that's gonna be a high risk, very low reward. Because what's gonna happen there is lahat pupunta doon. They're gonna be engaging early on in the fight. They might win, they might lose. If they lose, it's gonna be a hard one to come back from. Because definitely there's gonna be a big question of how were you able to get the dog tax back into action and whatnot. So they have to play this really, really safe for the first round, get a feel of who these people are, who their players are, and then once they have round 2, 3, and 4, dun, sabi nga ni Ceci, kailangan nila lang umarangkada. They cannot play passive. They have to play tactical, aggressive.
Yes. I mean, I do agree with that. But then, this tournament is a kill point system. So basically, kailangan ng mga teams natin mag-earn ng maraming points. But then again, let's see, because for the first game that will be isolated and we do have a lot of areas to drop in, and the question is, meron ba tayong mga teams na magkakasabay-sabay, and we'll be having the first engagement for the match, and definitely yun yung pinaka-inaabangan natin because that will be starting the momentum of the tournament. So I mean, tingnan natin mamaya, panoorin natin mamaya, and definitely we will be jumping into the game, but in any moment, but discussing the guidelines, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, same with the past rounds natin, past games. We will be having no tank, no ballistic, no team ups, cheats, glitches, or bugs, no trash talking and emotes, no flesh wound M21. So the skin is prohibited. Alam naman natin na may bug ang skin. And definitely no streamer mode and no rage quitting. And definitely another game changer, no defender and no medic. Ano masasabi mo? I mean, ano yung pwede natin i-expect since wala tayong defender and medic for this match, Boss Cezi?
Siyempre, pag wala tayong defender tsaka medic, it opens a possibility to the refitter, to the pump dito, to the airborne, to the mga iba-iba pang class dito. Maybe we can see the traps din. I mean, nakita rin yung mga traps actually. Kahit na nanibago and nagkaroon ng backlash on the side of the players. Kasi syempre, namimiss natin yung linyang trap dito. So it opens up the possibilities. But the classic, yung classic gameplay, medyo mawawala siya. But that makes things interesting. Kasi you will have this new flavor added to the table.
Yep, definitely. And from the past games, even though nawala na yung defender natin, we've seen really, really great teams. Very aggressive pa rin sila kahit wala ng defender. May mga teams pa rin na naglalaban outside the zone kahit wala silang medic. And definitely mind-blowing seeing teams really glowing up to the BR scene. But then again, here comes round number 1 and ipapasa ko na ang mic, ang mikropono sa ating mga popoging casters, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gaming with Dad and Xezy Gaming.
Ayun, we are now onto the casters deck natin dito. And as we are loading the game, napaka-exciting ng mga points natin kanina, no, Quiz Dad. Yung mga nasabi natin dito kanina, yung ating mga energy ng mga veterans dito nakagagaling ng gawin na survivors. Or maybe, kasi yun yung magiging nila, yung magiging somehow na magiging warm-up nila. Kumbaga, nag-warm up na sila. And nandun yung mindset nila. Tournament mindset. And garina pa yun. So, ibig sabihin, mas grabe yung mindset na dala nila ngayon. And maybe that could help them in this game, no?
Definitely, because basically they already have the tempo already in play for the matchup. This is just basically almost a cooldown for some of them, perhaps, depending on the situation. But as we've said, no, some of the squads jumping in for this evening are almost at the same caliber as they did. So yung iba dito, posibleng medyo, kumbaga, ito yung round 7, 8, 9, and 10 nila to just basically get back at some of the squads that took them out earlier during the Garena Survivors. We'll never know, but we are on our way. All squads jumping in already at our map, and I am definitely excited what's gonna happen over the next few minutes for our matchup ngayong gabi.
Yeah, definitely. And nakita natin sila sa Nuketown location. Napakadaming bugbugan. Pero actually, meron na down dito from KLN2. Madrinka is down ngayon. So we'll see at the Nuketown location. As you can see right now on your screens here, naglulut muna sila. But at the same time, nagkakabugbugan na. Ngayon, Royale is still sticking together. Merong KLN2 sa kanilang gitna dito. Mahanap ba nila na nasa atip lang? Kaso nasa atip siya dito. So medyo wala siyang loot dito. But at the same time, Royale is finding for him. Kailangan wala siyang footstep na mahanap dito. Pero KLN2 Kosei will be using Miracle as a bait dito, taking down one. This will leave them as a 3-on advantage ngayon. Pero TNC nasa likuran lang dito. Miracle will take down one. This is 3-on situation ngayon. Pero Miracle will be traded out. Pero hindi mo na ngayon magre-recover mo na with the smoke onto the middle. And now TNC comes into the action. Max will be taken down. Ngayon magkakabulan na. 2-on-2 sa gitna. Sa ating gitna dito, Miracle, napapagitnaan ng dalawang teams dito. Claudie is going for the rescue and now, papalimutan niya si Miracle dito. Matutumba si Miracle at wala naman ang magiging himala sa kanila as Kosei will be running away and ating Delcute mukhang lumilipad na hangin. Matitira sa gitna ng TNC. Medyo delikado ang pangitain na ito.
KLN2 not really starting well off this matchup. They just basically almost got wiped out there. So far, good move from TNC. We actually saw there a good spread from their end. No? They're not really closing in together. Managed to get their loots perfectly right there. Beautiful move earlier as we just saw. No? As we mentioned, no? They're trying to spread a little bit thin to make sure that they have good cover when it comes to their gunfights. And of course, pag medyo okay na, closing in, take down the kill, and then secure the extra loot as well. We are just starting off the match, but we are down to one squad is officially down already and 80 squads remaining.
Yeah, definitely.
What a way to start round number 1.
Oh, ang bilis. It's so fast. One squad wipe kagad dito. We can see the aggressiveness of the teams dito. And looking back at TNC's move kanina, it reminds me of something. Like, you know, yung ipaglalaban mo yung dalawang isda dito. At the end of the day, yung fisherman makakahuli nung lahat ng mga isda dito. And definitely yung nangyari as 2 squads will be wiped out. Now, SDPH dito, medyo konti na lang sila. Narco has the high ground advantage and the airborne will pop off. So they have this vision ngayon. And pwede silang bagsakan dito. Now, kailangan munang mag-ingat ni Demon Kid kasi once na nakasimot yung ating Narco dito, medyo delikado siya. But Narco, of course, teams dito have the path no na mag-stick sa ating placement points. 15 points is very big if tutusin. It's like squad wiping 4 teams dito. So they have this option. Maybe Narcotic Reborn is going for that path. But for sure, SDPH, they need to recover first kasi yung tatlo lang sila dito. Kailangan nilang i-preserve yung kanilang strength dito.
Definitely. The numbers game has to play in within the next almost first half of the match. Once we hit the mark of like top 15 rather, that's when really you get a bit tactical already. So you do want to go for placement, especially if you end up in a 2v everyone else scenario. So kung duo na lang kayo or solo mode ka na lang, your mindset has to go for the placement points. Let everybody get rid of themselves, go for that top spot. Other option, if you still have a full squad, just make sure you keep that in play all the time. So and right now, we have a beautiful squads right here. Again, let's see how well they play out this setup.
And right now, Lotus has the high ground advantage dito. Meron silang katip dito kaso medyo delikado kasi yung helicopter pwedeng sumabag ngayon. Bumaba naman na sila dito. Lotus ngayon with the ninja. Pinapapag dito ngayon. And your worst nightmare, Hydra will be taken down. Now it's magiging bugbugan to sa gitna natin. BPS issue will pop up. Drops will pop up once again. Andrea Good will be down. And ito na ngayon 1v1 sitwasyon. Pero nabalitan niya pa dito. And ngayon, siya na nag-iisa. Lotus ngayon, dalawa pa natitira. Pero the chopper is still there at matutumba ang ating last man standing ng your worst nightmare. Pero meron pang AXP. It's a 1v2 situation. And now, MCAV ang natitira. It's a 1v1 AXP. Grabe. Sila yung walang bilang kanina. Pero mukhang gusto pa nila dito. And CLN, ang daming mga nakapalibot sa kanila. So they better hasten up their performance dito. Kasi once na nagtagal sila dito, medyo delikado na. Look at this one. NR69 will be taken down by CLN. This is the 4th party dito game. Dad.
It's an absolute crazy moment right now. You actually saw other 2 squads coming in down below. So it's almost like picking up a vulture kill already. No? So they know MCAV and is basically fighting out already this squad. They're trying to gang up already in this one to pick up the extra kills and probably extra loot as well. But at the same time, more squads coming in hot. And now it becomes a whole different party and a whole different bangers right there of an action, left, right, and center, firing away at each other. That is this aggressiveness. We've said it earlier, Medyo. We think that they're gonna hit the bricks a little bit hard, but look at TNC. Going all the way. CLN also going all the way. Oh, still alive for some weird reason. That's really an interesting move right there.
Yep, definitely. Si Yuwa dito meron siya yung meron siyang advantage dito. Bunker advantage is there. And now, when NRX 6 time makikipagbugbugan sa labas dito, they have 2 enemies dito and they will be choosing SF for this show. And ngayon na mukhang dehado sila kasi alam nila maraming tao. So they will be going for the uphill dito for the high ground advantage. And now they will be meeting one here. They will be having this 1v1 situation. Pero meron pa ng zipline situation dito. And now How will be going down against KZ Bone. Hindi niya alam dito. Wala siya hindi niya naririnig it. Wise will be taken down. And ngayon bumabagsak na ating mga Riley. The smoke will be popped off. Pero naging dogtig na dito ang kanyang kasamahan. And ngayon babagsak sila dito sa unahan. Papalimutan silang dalawa dito. 3v2 situation. And Riley with the cohesiveness will take down NRX 6-9 doon. Medyo na ang daming tao talaga doon eh.
That's an absolute booster right there for Riley. Managing to take out the NRX right there with a double. Really, really good play. Actually, you see there the high ground advantage. We've always talked about this, a high ground advantage. Once you have that, you basically have your opponent pinned down below. So that's going to be something that you'd always have to look for. Even here in this situation, high ground here we'll see with VVV, no? But a little bit spread out, a little too thinly for my preference, but nevertheless, I think they can still have a full control of this situation. Other squads coming in already at this point, but of course, we're going to try to switch and see the rest of the squads and see how they're doing at this point.
Yep, and yung ating ibang squads dito, hindi pa sila na-activate. NRX 420 taking down the Butcher dito, and then nating mga Vagabonds ako sila ng Chopper dito. So they will have these advantages sa mga resources natin. And ngayon, Nature Ray will be taking Narco Liwanag dito. And it's trying to run away dito. And Santino mukhang naghiwalay ang ating dalawang magtropa sa gitna ng ating 13 Academy dito. Pero Triple V will be the third party. Cerulrean will be taking down one dito. And if you were 13 Academy, kailangan mo munang umout dito. Kaso Tom Pips will be meeting Secre dito. Open fire. Pero andito si Angel Cute. Hindi alam ni Secre dito. Wala siyang kalamalan. Pero the bait will not be used as Angel Cutie will just be maintaining this position as Triple V will be cohesive right now. And this could be a disaster if Angel Cute will still pursue this.
13 Academy has to just pull the brakes a little bit for now because they don't really have a proper positioning of their head from this scenario, but though they have the numbers, they medyo alanganin kasi yung question nila, so they have to think this through. Don't get too cocky when it comes to your gunfights. If you have the proper positioning, or if you have the proper armor and whatnot, go ahead. But if you're not that confident with the situation, it's just pull back a bit, find your proper spot, and then get on with the action. Speaking of which, getting on with the action, Riley here and Dream about to engage, I guess. Although there's a bit of distance, but I think they want to get it on with each other already and see who's the boss in this one.
Ooh.
But let's see what's in store.
NRX 420 here after taking the Butcher will be taking 3 down with them. And now, Kape na lang natitira dito. Kailangan nyo buhayin kanyang mga tropa. Boji, Peanut, at Quintaro. Is this the effect of that fatigue na galing doon sa ating Garena survivors? We'll see that later on kasi meron pa yung mga bugbugan dito. Royale is on the high ground advantage. Dream salting yun. Nag-ano lang muna, nag-prone nandito trying to approach that high ground. And now this is the perfect time for them to go up there because Omega will be taken down. Ay hangin ngayon, bumaba na rin. It's a 2-on-1 situation dito pero napakalayo pa rin nila dito. No? And Togo will be taken down. So tumatabla na sila dito ngayon. And Dream, kailangan nila mag-isip. Dalawang isip dito kung gugustuhin pa nila to o hindi. Kaso mukhang meron silang magagawa kasi yung Royal natin dito unti-unting bumabagsak. At ngayon pumupunta sila dito, napapagitnaan sa smoke. And hangin will take down Togo. Holding nga nasa gitna ng kawalan. Tatlo ang kanyang kalaban dito. Wise sa harapan niya lang. And Daryl, nagiging anghel dito. Bagong dating. And ngayon, magkakabubugan na naman dito. Obama will take down Salty. And now Daryl will try to find a loot dito bago makatulong. Pero ngayon, tumutulong na siya. It's a 1v2. And now as Tian here is inside with the rewind. And now goes down. Going for the dog tags dito. And will be going out of the situation as yung mga opponent nila medyo nawala na rin sa mapa.
Yeah, Dream and Royal, basically good engagement right there. Now, although we've seen earlier, Royal has a good spot already. Dream managed to infiltrate that section, pero at least they were able to control the situation. But unfortunately, that cost them a bit. Hopefully, they get that back in because we've said there's only 17 squads remaining. This is still almost halfway mark pa lang. They need the entire squad through and through. In this case, for SF here, no, they're already down one, or rather down two officially. That's not going to be a good situation. Meanwhile, Vacabonds Esports here, still complete lineup. This is one of the things that we have, but we can see here for VVV, only one frag for their squad. I think they're what we mentioned before. I think this time from their end, they are the ones pulling the brakes.
Yeah, definitely. They are the ones pulling the brakes dito. Pero ngayon, hindi na mapipigilan ang pagratsada nating Vagabonds dito. They have taken down one, and Champagne is just hiding here. Walang kaalam-alam ang ating Vagabonds. Hindi pwedeng huminga si Champagne. Baka tumunog ang baso dito at pumunta ang Vagabonds Yato. Ayan, 1v1 pa show na natumba dito with the Jack 12. Humingay ang baso sabay tagay doon sa ilalim ng bundok.
That's kids. If you're watching right now, that's water that we're talking about, not anything alcoholic. All right, Stacey, I got kids watching on my end. All right. Anyway, VVV coming back into the action for the second kill right now, but nevertheless, really bad situation in a 4v1 from that previous engagement though. So that's the numbers game. You can't really count on any miracle at that point though. So we are down to our final 15 match squads for tonight. This time we're checking in with Crisis Kings. Nothing really solid so far, although they already have 2 frags and a full squad. That's going to be a good situation. So hopefully we get to see more of them later on. But this time, again, another high ground situation with NRX 420. This time fighting again TNC, but it's a 3v1 situation. So we might well, I guess Kai has to just bail out on this one. When it comes to this situation, we can't really expect him to go for the dog tags immediately. Because if you are, you're just gonna get basically crap out. But this is gonna be interesting.
Nangubos dito si Kai ngayon na patumba 3 NRs 420 para lang maligtas ang kanyang mga kasamahan dito. Ngayon, nakala natin nag-iinit ang NRs 420 pero bigla bubagsak si Kai dito. Ngayon, Kinsaro, naubos niya ang NRX 420. Grabe naman si Kai dito.
I spoke too soon.
Grabe.
I spoke too soon. The situation was so complex. It was just a 1v3 situation. It was coming down. Everyone was basically almost to gang up on the situation. But somehow, somewhere, Kai managed to pull out the 5 frag right there. Beautiful execution. Again, this is what we're saying. Win your gunfights. Confidence. This is absolute confidence. Rocking it. Unfortunately, Kai is down already, courtesy of Dream right there. Sad to see him go, but hopefully he can come back into the action in just a bit.
Yep. And maybe we can see another TNC member stepping up to the challenge. It's a 1v4, but this time it's a 2-on-4 or 3-and-4. But this time, this is not the NRS 420. This is the Dream Clan, and they are backing off because their member is down right now. The zone is actually collapsing. So right now, Dream will be going forward, but nasa harapan na nila. Triple V, nasa high ground. Kung makaamoy ito, medyo delikado. Pero yun, nakaamo na si Dre dito with the M21 EBR. Mukhang babakbakin niya dito. Dream Togo will be taken down. Dre with the takedown as well for Salty. And now, dalawa na natitira for the Dream. And Astian will be down. And ngayon, it is the foods for Triple V. Tagabang lang sa zone natin dito. And the last man standing, Daryl ngayon. Napapalibutan natin Triple V. Anong magagawa sa tatlo? Pero ang ating zone dito, nilalamon sila. Kailangan na mag-out dito. Kaso si King maiiwan sa loob ng zone. This is a tough situation because once you are in the grand finals and once that this is a placement point, you need all your members present because you have this higher chance of winning. Pero ngayon, kailangan nilang umalis dito kasi lalamunin sila ng zone.
Definitely. That's gonna be the big challenge. You get to high risk, high reward in playing almost close to the zone. So that's what we've seen with VVV, no? Basically, they just almost to a point that they were waiting for these people to make that mistake, take that easy kill, and then wipe them out, basically. Now we're down to our final 13. This time, CLN and VVV almost at the clash up right here. Again, still playing within almost at the edge of the zone. This is gonna take a huge toll on you at some point. Because if you get pushed too much, you're getting unnecessary damage, you're getting unnecessary engagement that you can avoid a little bit, or at least from, let's say, from VVV's end, this is their tactic. So anyone who comes in close, that's, kumbaga, bawas na yon, get that final kill, get that point.
Yeah, definitely. Get that kill. Get those points. And now, speaking of points, dito, Xinyu will take down one with the SVD. And that is Xinyu from Crisis. Kings Era Zira taking down one kill. Ang grabe, SVD is in play. No, we have the M21 available then, and the SVD is up. And now that they are using the strategy na nasa gilid lang sila ng zone dito, trying to be safe as far and as much as possible dito just to conserve their energy, conserve their numbers, and get those 15 points. Kaso, sa ating bakbakan dito, Riley nagtatago lang sa gilid ng ating bundok. Kailangan hindi siya huminga dito kasi ginagamit niya yung kanyang kasama bilang isang pain. Ngayon nakatapak ng ating trap dito. Nahuli na siya pero Rad dito on a 1v1 situation. Nandito siya sa ating higher situation. And now, Rad will be killed with a Max and Banana Blaster dito. Sinapok ng ating mga saging. And now, TNC, Champagne, syempre, papasok mo na sa zone natin dito.
Definitely needs to get in fast. But for TNC, that's almost coming into the top 10. Dalawa na lang sila. That's gonna be a bad situation for Vagabond. Nash is all alone for tonight. Can he handle the pressure? That's gonna be a big tall order to pull a clutch for this one. We're hoping for the best, but you know, we have to also understand the numbers are not to his favor. But of course, for VVV, also the same thing. But still, Black, Sutre, and Dre doing absolutely well for this time. Already about 7 points into the game, losing one already into the mix. Now fighting here, game.
And now, Triple V is on the high ground. So they will be taking down one here. Joey will be taken down. Ito yung ating pagpawin ng api. Sila yun ang sniper kanina ngayon. Sila naman ang tinira ng ating Triple V. And this is a perfect position for the M21 EPR because they are on the high ground. Now, Airborne will be popped off. Nasa open kaya sila dito pero Champagne naging sa labas ng zone natin. Hinahabol ni Shabe! And ang Shabe niya dito, hindi ka man mabubuhay sa round na ito. At ngayon, Fiji, magdadrive-drive muna, papasok sa ating circle dito as now KLN surrounding themselves with the smoke, with the Airborne, lalabas muna at mag-vision.
Yes. Alright. Yeah, alright. So right now, we just got a bit of a shock there from the intensity of the matchup. SDPH Fiji here, so basically all alone. So survival is the key here right now, but unfortunately, facing HRA needs to basically just bail out on this one. But can he handle the pressure of a 1v3? We don't know, but this time another squad jumping in already. That's KLN2 up in the mix as well as CL. And it's getting a bit tighter here with the final 6 on the match. So again, this is now where the numbers game play absolutely well. VVV also in the mix, getting pushed into the safe zone. It's an open air, high ground with the CLN. HRA with the high ground as well. VVV on the lows. So this is not looking good for VVV, but they're gonna push through the backside right now. This is gonna be an interesting mix.
And now, Shabe bumaba sa ilalim dito. Triple V nagabang lang doon. And ngayon, Fluffy tatakbo sa kabilang kanto. Kaso HRA nagabang dito. Parang mga tambay sa kanto dito. At ngayon, nagtatagliran lang sila dito. Secre and Dre napipilitan sa ilalim ng kabundukan. At ngayon, Santino nagdadasal na dito. Sa labas ng zone natin, binabaril si Dre dito. Kaso mukha siya pa matutumba. The chop off. And now, Secre na sa gitna ng kawalan dito. Mukhang tumatakbo kay Tanjiro and Zenitsu. Kaso hindi niya alam na napakabilis ni Zenitsu dito, parang lightning flash. And ngayon Dre nakikipaghabulan, nakikipagpatintero kay Zenitsu sa ilalim ng ating box dito, pero Dre will be taken down now. Last man standing, Secre. Ngayon babagsak, it's a 1v3. Uy, sumaba dito! At ngayon, Dre babagsakan ni Santino. Manalangin tayo! At si Dre babagsak. HRA will be taking the first round.
Hashira Esports Homura managing to lock down first win of the night for round number 1. An excellent performance for them. No, I have to say that the 3v2 situation, although I'm sure everyone here was kind of hoping that VVV would pull off the clutch for the last one, but nevertheless, HRA, as we have already said, no, they have the high ground advantage. Absolute move there from their end. Good job so far. That's a solid 10 from their end, and that's gonna put them in a good standing already for tonight. Moving in to round number.
Yep, definitely. And HRA dito on that high ground, it really played a big advantage. And look at this. They have, I think it's 13 kills plus 15 points to placement. So 28 points kagad. That is a huge boost in this tournament. And what they need to do is consistency. But in terms of this game, no, on that final circle, the circle decided their fate. And Triple V dito, na-force silang bumaba eh. So HRA, Hashira Esports dito has this high ground na nasa kanila lang. Sa kanila lang talaga yon. And yun yung ginamit nila para makapag-glide sila, para mahabol nila mga Triple V sa ilalim dito. And plus, the snowboard disadvantage when you're going uphill will be playing a big factor for Triple V. So that is why HRA, they have the freedom plus the numbers advantage. So pwede nilang palibutan anytime with the glide. Pwede nilang backstabin dito. Pwede silang mag-triangle formation. Kahit ano pa. Pwede silang mag-breeding form dito with Zenitsu Tanjiro dito. Santino pa with the holy blessing galing kay bro.
Yep, definitely. Now, unfortunately, we actually saw this as well for CLN. Unfortunately, they gave up that possession, unlike HRA. But for VVV, they're already on the bad spot because they were on the lower end of that the high ground, basically almost open looks from HRA. And again, numbers play doing an absolutely good performance here. Basically, just utilizing the numbers to their advantage. So good job to Hashira Esports, locking in a good spot already here for round number 1. Question is, for round number 2 onwards, now that we're moving to a whole new different map, how are they going to perform? Are they going to again step up one more time and secure their way closer to our prize pool, or we'll see another squad jump in and basically take that win from them?
Yeah, definitely. Dito na magsusulputan yung other opportunities because we have teams here that specializes on the Blackout map, and also meron tayong mga teams on the isolated map. And on the side of Hashira Esports dito, our leading team so far, biggest question and biggest pressure will be, can they maintain the points dito? But looking at the yung ating format dito, since it is a new map, so it will be a new environment na maglalaroin ng Hashira Esports Homura. So nakakapanibago to sa kanila, and we are hoping to see that other teams dito can stand out for the new map natin, Blackout map.
All that questions will be answered maya-maya lamang. We're just gonna take a short break, so mga kids, stick around. Breathe a little bit. We will be back with more action. Again, this is still the Squad Out Season 6 Grand Finals.
Oh yeah, baby. That was dope. No lie.
Pero, wala pa ng sound. Pero, um, hindi sila, I mean, pinahirapan sila ng mga tropa natin from VVV. But then again, hindi pala ako rinig kanina. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we go. I am Colicx Gaming, your host. Yan, may bosses na ako. Mic test, 3 to 1. What I've said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what a gameplay on fire. Round number 1, parang feeling ko round number 6 na kaagad yung pinanood natin. We have seen, again, ulitin ko lang yung sinabi ko kanina, one player coming from TNC, wiping out players coming from NRX 420. Very mind-blowing gameplay coming from TNC in there. But then again, let's see kung babawi ba dito ang NRX 420 on the second round of the match. And definitely the latter part, VVV against Hashira Esports. Definitely it's in favor to Hashira. But then again, medyo pinahirapan pa rin sila ng VVV dito, and definitely still Hashira takes the win. So for round number 2, Blackout, what may be the adjustments na makikita natin for the teams, casters?
Now, definitely for Blackout, it's gonna be almost an open look. Whoever your snipers are, they're gonna be important here. Why? Because there's so many open grounds. There's almost like little to no cover from most of the spots here. Although you have your possessions here and there, pero mas marami yung open grounds. So if you're really a good sniper, whether you're sporting your DLQ, your M21, or even for the new ones, SVD and the Koshka. The Koshka is really a new player in the mix right now with the one-tap kill. That's going to be an interesting play, depending on their loadout. So that's going to be a big thing. But again, snipers will be very critical in this one. And at the same time, again, still going to be a question of where you land in these situations. Although, hindi masyadong concern ngayon because, as we've said, this is a big map. So you could easily spread out and get yourself a good loot. So it will be more of the gunfights here. How well you get the gunfights. Second, another thing that we should consider is transport. So with the huge map, you cannot just run your way throughout this map because you're going to be in open looks for anybody. Anybody sees you, pulls out a good hit on you, you're done. So at least vehicle choices will absolutely be a must, whether you split it up with the team or go with ones. So that's something that you need to consider already at this point, because we have seen a lot of engagement before when it comes to Blackout. Na almost there are even moments, I'm sure, even outside Garena Survivors or your own experiences in VR, halos magbanggaan na lang. Pagbanggaan, once that thing hits, it's all bets are off when you're hitting on the gunfight. So that's gonna be a big thing, and I'm sure throughout this round number 2.
Definitely, I really agree to that. But then, jumping into Blackout, very wide map for round number 2. Do you think we will be having an early engagement for the match, Xezy?
Definitely, there will be an early engagement dito because, syempre, the zone dominance dito, kailangan i-establish ng mga tao dito bago sila mag-loot. They will be forced sooner or later na patayin. Yung mga sumabay sa kanila dito, i-punish sila or i-force silang lumabas dito. So there will be early engagements. But after that, doon na magkakatagalan. Doon na yung transition period where they need to have those vehicles in order to meet other people.
Definitely. I mean, comparing the Blackout to the Isolated has a lot of areas to drop in. But then for Blackout, mas konti yung areas na pwede nating pagbabaan compared to Isolated. But then, feeling ko magkaroon tayo ng balagbagan malala for the first running time of the game. Especially, I've seen a lot coming from our players. Every time I see them jump into the game, they always jump into estates.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be a big thing
Mhm.
throughout the match. If they end up deciding going in all the way to estate or whatever the flight path we're gonna have
Mhm.
for this evening, if all they decide is basically drop into at least whatever area would be the closest, it's gonna be almost the first 5 minutes is just gonna be an absolute riot if they're not a little bit careful. So it's gonna be a little if 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 the flight path favors a little bit of distance, that's
Mhm.
good for them. Pero kung medyo malalapit lahat ng bababaan, they have to prepare themselves once they land, get whatever. This is gonna be a critical thing here. Mastery of all the weapons available. Because
Mhm.
if you're not really used to, let's say, getting into a Jack 12, or you end up with a sniper rifle, not used to it, you won't be able to win your gunfights. That's going to be a big problem for you. So the mastery has to be critical with the next first 5 minutes, and then of course your strategy on getting into the loot immediately as possible to secure a good defense on the basically defending yourself against your opponents. And if you can win the gunfights, well and good. Then after that, reestablish your strategy and go for either placements and of course for more points in the future. So this time we're seeing everyone dropping in already. Distance wise here, there's a bit of open ground. There's the dungeons and also medyo a little bit in favor to going a little farther out for everyone here right now.
Yep, definitely. Nakikita mo silang lumalayo muna sa mga unang babagsakan. And ang dami nating mga tao nakikita dito on the, I believe that is the fracking tower, I believe. Kasi hindi masyadong, I don't know, hindi masyadong, ano sa atin. But, yep, so far, ito yung first minutes dito, establishing the dominance. They will be facing off their opponents na sumasabay sa kanila. And now, look at this one. TNC and Riley yung magtatapat sa unang pagtatagpo. And now, Riley, Gran, will be the first to go down dito. Now, Reagan nagabang lang sa Gedli dito. Hinahabol nagabang lang kay How. Pero magkakita sila dito ngayon. Reagan hindi mo lumabas. Pero Chapo dito is down. And now, Champagne will try to get those loots. So, sinasabi natin kanina na with Kuya Dad dito, no? Bawal mapili dito sa first minutes of the game. So, you need the mastery of the guns dito. Pick your gun. Kung ano mapili mo dyan, yun na kagad yun, and then use it. And now, Reagan using the rewind dito sa harapan ni How, at wala silang napansin dito na kahit konting audio effect. And now, Gran will be taken down. At ngayon, Reagan muna ang matatrade off dito. Clean 1-for-1 trade, and TNC will be backing away.
TNC not starting the round well here. For Riley, we've actually seen them really step up into the matchup earlier, and now again really winning their gunfights straight off the bat, no hesitation whatsoever. So that's gonna be a good thing. So hopefully, I'm sure for all the Riley Aris fans here tonight, they're definitely hoping that they can see them until the final three, or at least win this one if they can perform excellently. With this time, one squad already got wiped out. I'm not sure who that one. Oh, okay, Son of I just got wiped out already as early as now. No, so again, a little bit of engagement more from the rest. The rest rather. Vacabonds Esports also making their presence felt already. And let's see with the rest, how are they performing at this point?
And now, Vagabonds dito, mukhang nagigising na sa kanilang mahimbing na tulog ng first round dito. Siyempre, pagod pa galing sa ating Arena Survivors. And now, they are making their presence known in this game. And so far, TNC and Triple V ang magbubugbugan sa ating loob dito. Blank will take down one. And ngayon, nasa looban dito, the chopper will be deploying. And now, Blank and King will be defending the middle of this building. And ngayon, paisa-isa sila. Nag-audition yung ating mga TNC. And now, the smokes are popping through. Tumakbo ang isa. At naiwan si Fate dito. Mag-isa sa labas ng ating building.
Alright, so far that's gonna be a good move for VVV. I think
Wow.
VVV already had their break already from match number 1, and they're all set and they're all fired up for round number 2 onwards. We've seen here stats-wise for VVV excellently putting their numbers on the leaderboards right now. So that's gonna be a good thing. So I guess medyo talagang that's what we were talking about earlier. So maybe they just really pull the brakes a little bit earlier for round number 1, and this time they're all in already for round number 2 onwards. And this time Royale with AXP here. So let's see how this one goes.
Yep,
Looks like
and,
it's not also going to be a good situation, but a little bit spread out here. Let's see. Xezy.
Yeah, definitely. It's a three-way battle in the middle. And now Boji will be taken down. Peanut ngayon na try rescue. Kaso madadali dito si Oh Mama kay Peanut. And now Kape, Kintaro duo. Will be facing the duo of Royal dito. And now Kape is down. Kape is low. Ngayon nagtago na. Pero ngayon nag-trap sila dito dalawa. And ngayon nagabang lang. Hangin ay lipad dito. At ngayon, ang ating NRX 420 duo is still standing strong in this building. The body system is on. Pero ang dami ng ganap dito sa ating loob na ito. Kasi ang dami ng sumasaw-saw dito. We have Peanut on this game. And now, ang daming dog tags, ang daming mga nawalang kulay dito. Pero KLN, a new challenger, has arrived against NRX 420.
Definitely almost like a damaged setup here. So dog tags all over the place right now with NRX basically surviving that one. Although we still have a Bleed Da here on solo mode and as well as KLN2 coming into the mix, but they're not really fully engaging yet with NRX. I'm not sure if they realize what's going on, who they might face against. So we can't really say if they're pulling the brakes first muna. Let them come out from the building and then push through, or I think they're just gonna bail out on this one. They here, it's a 1v3 situation, not a good spot here. Open grounds, Cantro trying to push this one. So let's see if Xperia will survive here or not. Kintaro, I think it's not really on the chase here. Maybe this one will live another day, but this time 13 up in the mix here. That's not gonna be a good again. Day is not getting any breaks right now. Oh, well, done and done.
13 versus NRX 420. Ang labanan ng dalawa. Pero the Godmade coming from Kape will take down Glad. And that's Kape 4-3. Yes, sir! And ngayon, babalik ang ating mga KLN2. Ang pagbawi ng Kape. Nakikita natin mga si dito. Ating 13 Academy ay kailangan mo nang lumayo kasi napapagitnaan sila dito ngayon. And NRX 420 so far, they're having this solid defense on the building. And mukhang meron pang gustong sumausaw sa bandang itaas dito ngayon. As lahat sila dito magkakalayo muna pero nadalis Kape. At ngayon, ang ating NRX 420, tatlong pumasok dito, babawian, ipaghihigante si Kape na natumba sa kamay ng ating third party dito. Uy!
Ooh! Tom Peeves takes out Venus right there. That's an excellent move right there. Anyway, right now, again, NRX managed to brave the odds, but unfortunately, losing that gunfight earlier, 13 back in the mix again. That's a really interesting move right there. They pulled out the brakes, managed to get a bit of engagement, and then push through at the very end and basically take down everyone else in between. Now, Boji's, I think, almost all alone here for now, while the rest needs to basically engage with each other here. I think that KLN2 is still not really pulling through, but this time we're seeing here with HRA, we're moving in rather to 4K, no? So far, Tokyo is the only one in engagement right now, but that's an interesting. That's what we were talking about. Vehicle executions right there is gonna be common here at Blackout.
Yeah, definitely. Yung ating mga vehicle execution, 4K, ang nadali, Vagabonds dito. Mga mabibigat na pangalan. And for sure, ang mga masasaya dito ay yung mga pa-low-key lang muna sa Gedli kasi mababawasan yung threat para sa kanila dito. Ngayon, mag-1v1 dito. Yato na natumba kanina. So, tatapusin niya lang ang buhay ni Yato dito. While 13, hindi pa tapos ang kanilang bugbugan. This is the third party kanina, KLN2. And ngayon, inuubos na ng ating mga 13. 5 will be getting down. And now, ubos na ang ating KLN2 while 13 is still standing strong. Pero, andito si Kape. Nasa Gedli lang. Tahimik lang muna dito kasi pag nasimot siya ng ating 13, mukhang delikado ang kanyang mga tamo dito.
NRX not in a good situation right now. But this time, I think Dream is also wants into the action with 13 here. But 13 on a roll right now. Ooh! Blows up the chopper right there. Now Dream not in a good situation. But anyway, this is what we've seen with Tom Pips right now. He's really on the roll. Good excellent execution from the play for the rest of 13 so far. But Dream not in a good spot when they landed straight out. Another kill right there for the for KLN2. Basically, now this time they're on the push.
Yep, and now
Dream
they are
this time holding off that front. That's gonna be an interesting situation here, Cezi.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting situation dito si Dream ngayon ang mapasok sa bahay ng ating mga KLN2. This is the advantage of KLN2, the bunker advantage. And ngayon, napipilitan si Salty dito kasi inalat yung kanyang mga kasama. And now, siya yung binabaril from afar. 76 yung kanyang buhay dito. They are punished hard in that situation, Tristan.
Definitely. Salty there cannot under the pressure from KLN2 there early. This time we're switching in another situation here. Again, another bunker defense here. This time from Hashira this time. But I guess we've already managed to take out already another group here. So that's going to be interesting. So this time, we're going to move into another squad of Fortnite. So what we've seen here so far, no, everyone trying to hold up their fronts, bunkering up a bit. Let your opponent push through. You already have a good position. Let them come through and then take them out, basically. Now here for NRX 420, the entire team back into the mix. So basically, I guess they managed to get their dog tag scan back and they are up and running once again. So that's going to be a good thing. So let's see for the rest of the squads if they can still handle this situation and of course basically push their way all through the fights. We still have 19 squads remaining. This is still going to be a long fight for everyone.
Yeah, definitely a long fight for everyone. And now KLN2 versus ating 13 dito. Pero Dream Salty for the third party takes down Toppings. And now NRX 420 joins in the fray as glad will be taken down by Salty dito. Salty doing all the things for these three guys dito na matumba ang ating 13. And now they will be forced to get outside of this situation. But Boji and the rest of the squad nagabang nandito. Mukhang inisign siya nating Dream Salty ngayon. Boji is under attack. And now, the close range guns is ready for the action. Pero mukhang mahuhuli si Lint dito ng ating mga KLN2. And now, Boji, nagabang lang sa Geddy dito. Hindi niya papatakasin. Mukhang gusto niya heal dito. Mag-isa lang siya. Pero, andito ang kanyang masamang binabalak. Boji, papasok na ba ngayon? Pero mukhang hindi niya makita yung isa dito. Ayun na, natagpuan ang kanyang kalaban. And now, ayun na, nagkakabubugan na. The ambush from Boji is there. Very aggressive kid. And now, yung ating new gun on the action. Pinapalibutan yung mga KLN2. Kaso yung mga NN420 nawawala sa site ni Boji. And ngayon, mapipilitan siya mag-out dito. Nakikipag-lead up muna. Pero mukhang galit na galit siya sa ating KLN2 na patumba ang kanyang kalaban dito. And now, yung ating mga kasamahan from NRX 420, tinutulungan siya na patayin yung ibang mga KLN2. Pero Angel Cute nagabang lang sa Gedli na patumba ang ating Boji. At ngayon, babagsakan na ng ating mga Dream. Kaso mag-out muna mga NRX 420 dito with the snowboard. And they will pick up the dog tag of Boji.
Definitely mobility is a key there. Boji braving the odds there, although did not really win the gunfights, but nevertheless, interesting move from Dream there earlier. In the almost like a 1v4 situation, basically picking up the odds while KLN2 and I think NRX were busy beating up each other. Dream was there, just popping in that M21. Basically, that's an interesting move right there. So again, numbers may not play so long as you have good positioning here. But this time for KLN2, trying to come back into the mix. Again, the zone playing in to whether you're advantage or disadvantage. That's going to be a big thing. How well you handle the setup here. If your HP can still handle it. If you're still under 50, over 50 rather. Kaya pa naman, but nevertheless, once I think with Boji, what we saw there earlier, once he was hitting about 70, he went in already, he understood the situation, and then get back into the fight. Unfortunately, he just lost that one, and this time it's 4K versus SDPH. A little bit of a distance here, so we're not sure how much this gunfight is gonna be, no? But 4K already losing one already, so it's almost an open ground. So, and Lotus also coming into the mix this time, so open ground fight. Let's see what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, open fight dito. And now they are still not doing anything as they will be prioritizing the points for the point system, and now they're having this third-party mix actually. So napakadami nila doon. Medyo malilito ka talaga kung sino yung tatarget. And ngayon yung mga NRX 69 natin, fresh from the revival flight, will try to get the loots dito so far. And Kiel and the rest of the 4K squad popping off the smokes dito, working on their positioning kasi yun yung ano eh, they got the individual skills dito, but one thing that they need to improve is their positioning skills, and now they are applying it in this tournament, so that is a really good thing so far. And now this is the vehicles that are mentioned kanina na mention mo kanina, quiz dad, no, na ito yung mga kailangan dito, ito yung mga kailangan na gamitin para makapagpatumba ng mga kalaban dito and traverse those distances. Pero NRX 69 naipit sa gitna, your worst nightmare ngayon, nagpapakawala ng mga smoke dito para umatras and maybe take that lower ground. Pero NRX 420 nasa gilid nila and KLN2 nasa bandang unahan. Kaya medyo delikado si Mr. Flex kasi andito rin yung ating Lotus. Buti na lang hindi sila ganun kaingay para puntahan ng mga tao.
Mr. Flex has to play this one right. It's a bad situation with your worst nightmare coming into the mix, while the rest of the crew almost outside of the safe zone right now. This is not gonna be okay for them. They need to get in there fast, at least assist their teammates basically. But Remy here managed to take down Hydra already. That's gonna be a good thing. Hopefully get pushed to a little bit more. Let's see for the rest, no? If they can win their gunfights, regardless of they're pushing through almost at the edge of the zone. VVV also coming into the mix with your worst nightmare here.
Okay. Your worst nightmare dito nasa labas lang. Pero nagtatago yung ating mga tropa dito, and now the smoke bomber will be popped off, slowing down the your worst nightmare dito. Triple V onto the front lines. Nasa bandang unahan dito. Will be trying to pop those snipers, the long range shots dito, but your worst nightmare has the smoke, has the cover, but Weez dito will be taking fire from those Triple V. And now Mr. Flex waiting for this opportunity. Wheels ngayon mukhang malilikuran pero hindi pa rin siya pinarelito. Pinatakbo mo na siya mismo na dito kasi ayaw ng gulo ni Mr. Flex, and now KZ Ball will be punished instead kasi hindi kinuha ng ating Mr. Flex yung kapagkakataon na yon at sila ang mapaparusahan. And now Peanut going into the action. Mukhang gumugusto sila ito, gusto nilang kunin yung your worst nightmare na nasa bandang unahan, kaso the high ground advantage is showing up. So now that they are facing against each other, it's a 4-on-3 situation. Smokes will be popped off, and now your worst nightmare will be forced to retreat, and Quintero just pushing together. Smokes will pop off once again, but this time the pumper out, and Whis ang matitira dito. Mahahabol ba siya ng mga snowboard? Mukhang gugustuhin pa rin ito ng NRX 420, and now Peanut leading the fray. Magkakaroon ng change in direction, change in shotfall as they will be prioritizing going inside.
See, that's the thing that we've seen here, no? The ability to have your smoke grenades here in play. If for those open looks, those open rounds, your best cover would be your smokes. That's the thing that they would always have to use excellently here so far. And so from the looks of it, almost all the teams really understand the situation. And dahil there's so many open rounds here, the best thing to use for cover is use your smoke, get your snowboards, get out of the situation if you can handle the pressure. And of course, this time they are again still doing the same thing, trying to cover up their traps, trying to go for the push. Interesting move right here. It's a little bit almost everyone trying to get into the safe zone at the same time, just firing away at each other from the side. That's gonna be an interesting mix again. Vehicle play. This will save you basically from taking unnecessary damage as the safe zone pushes through. Now this is not gonna be an this is gonna be an interesting situation here, Ceci. We have a lot here in play. It's gonna be a bloodbath here tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bloodbath dito. At ngayon, nagkakasawsawan na, nahiwala yung ating 4K into two duos. And now, Kyun Tokyo will take down the TNCs dito. And on the other side, Alatski and Kiel will be facing off the KLN2. Now, 2-on-4 situation on both sides dito. Kaya naman ng 4K, pero Alatski will go down. Kiel, babawian yung ating mga KLN2. And now, Kyun and Tokyo, wala na naman yung kanilang positioning dito. Kailangan nila magsama-sama kasi yung Quintero and the squad will be going inside. Now, KLN2 dito, mukhang napapayakap sa dilim. Kailangan mo nang tumakbo dito. And ngayon, 4K, naligtas sila ng NRX 420 dahil sa pagtulong ng NRX 420, nabawasan yung pressure na dito. Friendship goals muna para sa ating 4K and NRX 420.
almost, well, it's kind of the enemy of my enemy. There is my friend for now. That's what
Exactly.
happened right there. But right now, Riley and Dream also not in a good situation. The driving away Daryl, not in a good spot there. But they're still
Uy.
the zone closing, and this is not gonna be a good situation
Uy.
for anyone.
Oh.
Almost the trees here is the only one setup that everyone has.
Oh.
It's gonna be an absolute riot here. Ooh, everyone just got wiped out right there. So 1v5 situation. KLN2 not looking good. NRX 420 might just take this one home all the way. And that is it. NRX 420 brings this one home. What a way to end round number 2.
NRX 420 taking that last round, taking the points dito. 15 points is on their bag right now. And in terms of positioning, they're actually quite good right now. Because, alam mo yun, yung 420 dito kanina, they have shown their tenacity. From the early wipes dito, Kape was just standing there, waiting for the dog tag, waiting for the recovery na kanyang mga kasamahan dito. And because of that hold on dito ng ating NRX 420, they got these kills. Napakadami nilang kills dito. I believe this is 15, 20, 23 plus 15 points. So that will be 38 points for the side of NRX 420. They are showing their prowess dito. Kakagaling lang nila survivors and this is the second round. So isang round lang yung kanilang pahinga. At ngayon, they are making their presence known dito. Gising na ang mga tulog. At ngayon, NRX 420 ang babawi sa kanilang pangalan. Now, will we see sa ating mga next rounds dito, Quiz Dad, yung iba pang mga natulog ng survivors? Or meron pa yung mga bagong pangalan dito?
That's gonna be a big question for NRX 420. They're giving definitely Hashira a run for their money. But of course, we also actually saw some of the squads putting in the good numbers already for tonight. So medyo, as we mentioned earlier, round number 1, we were expecting some of these squads who were part of the Kalina survivors to just chill out first. And then, of course, round number 2 was all bets are off. The final moments right there, very, very interesting match. And I'm sure the one and only Gentleman Gaming
What's
would
up?
have been absolutely impressed by that performance earlier tonight. So again, a big shout out to the one, the only, the best caster here and again, of course, here in the Philippines, the one and only Gentleman Gaming. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us tonight. We appreciate your presence here this evening. Kind of pressured, honestly.
Kind of pressured. Pero baka boss Depchin yan. Shout out, I miss you, boss. Yep. At ngayon, no?
Alright.
Dahil tapos na yung ating second round dito, ibababa po natin sa ating short break. Kita-kits after this one.
Oh yeah, baby. That was dope. No lie.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? We are currently back live again. Meron akong mic. There you go. And what a round number 2. In there, we have seen a lot of a lot of teams stocking up on one area and just definitely vanished in one single moment. And definitely mind-blowing gameplays again for our teams this round number 2. But jumping into round number 3, sa tingin nyo ba makikita ulit natin yung the same strategy that we have seen for round number 1? Xezy.
Round number 1. Pwede. Makita pa rin natin yung mga galawan na yun, no? Kasi syempre, this is a placement point, so there will be teams na mag-focus sa ating placement. There will be mga teams natin na mga aggressive tayo, mga born to be wild dito ng mga teams natin. And it's up to them kung paano nila didiskarten, paano yung tamang timpla ng aggressiveness and the passiveness. Passive-aggressive. So, yun yung mga kailangan nilang i-balance ng mga risk dito and make sure that at the end of the day, at the end of the circle, they can still maintain that first spot because that is a whopping 15 points.
Whopping 15 points indeed. So for round number 1, we had seen the gameplays on fire taking W on round number 1 ang tropa natin from Hashira, and round number 2 for the side of NRX 420. Sabi nga ni Xezy, eto na, nabubuhay na yung mga dugong tulog kaninang round number 1. But then again, round number 3, let's see if Homura or Hashira will be able to take back their win on the isolated map. So, Quiz, Dad, what do you think we need to see for round number 3 since we are jumping again into the isolated?
I guess at this point, though, we've actually seen it in the Blackout already. It's all bets are off here. Everyone here who may have a little bit of chill time kanina for round number 1, those were part of the Garena survivors. They're at it already. We have seen VVV being absolutely aggressive. 4 Kings was also aggressive. 13 was also being absolutely dominant. Same thing with Vagabond. And even NRX. We've seen him at the very end in TNC. So medyo they're not holding back anymore for round number 3, even with isolated. So for the rest of the squads, hopefully the only thing they can hope for right now is fatigue to step in. But we know this these squads are able to handle the pressure. They can play long hours, and they really know how to when to engage and when not to engage, when to hold off into the energy and just push through. So medyo they have to be a little bit more tactical here. For the rest, well, I think we're just Xezy will be having a blast here tonight for round number 2. Feeling ko, puro siya to, promise. Nararamdaman ko ng ang gulo nito. As in, it's gonna be an absolutely crazy match.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, jumping into to isolated, a well-known map of all of Call of Duty Mobile troops natin dito, definitely magkakabalagbagan tayo. But then again, jumping into isolated, sa tingin mo ba yung mga binabaan natin or ng mga players natin, mga teams natin from the first round is bababaan ba ulit nila for the third round of the match? Xezy.
Pwede. Siyempre pwede dito. Pat yung mga naunang mga natumba, siguro sila yung mga aatras muna. Kaso, pagdating nila sa ibang lugar dito, baka maulit na naman. So, kailangan talaga nila mag-isip na mabuti.
Yes.
Or they can refine their strategy and rotation on their chosen map.
Yep, definitely. And definitely this will be the third match of the game. If you're aiming to get onto the top, definitely ito na yung pinaka inaantay nating moment. Wala na tayong tactical waiting. We need to have at least a great engagement, good gameplays, win those gunfights, earn those points, and definitely get those placing for the match. Because definitely third round and next round, that will be their last chance. And medyo mahirapan na silang mag-catch up sa scores if ever they will be having their momentum on the fourth round. So definitely third round will be the round that they gonna be needing for their team points.
Definitely, so they cannot play safe anymore for all the teams that are lagging. If I'm sure some of the squads understand that they're lacking in points rather for the rest of the squads that have placement. Although they have a good possession already, they cannot be lack here. So they have to stay aggressive. They have to push through. I mean, Hashira and NRX 420 already in a good setup so far. But again, we still have to check the numbers within the rest of the squads. And I've actually seen them na medyo it's still a close fight for anybody's ball game here. But for the rest of the squads who have not been performing well, who only have like what 1 kill, 2 kills here and there, they have to really step up. Be aggressive. Do not be afraid. Know your gunfights. Execute them execute them properly. And of course, utilize your classes. I think for almost the entire match kanina sa Blackout, we haven't really seen much of it. Mostly it's
Mhm.
just smoke and mirrors, basically almost a smoke
Yep.
screen, a little bit of rewinds here and there. Almost everything else, not so much. But hopefully this time for Isolated, they get to utilize it a little bit more. Perhaps switch it up if they want to be a bit more aggressive with, let's say, your spotters or your trap masters and what have you. So medyo, I would suggest for some of them to, be more on the offensive side rather than be on the defensive. So again, it's gonna be dependent on them. How do they set up their gameplays? We'll never know, but I'm sure it's just gonna be an absolutely crazy match right now for round number 3. So, brother, I hope you have water in your side because I have mine right here. It's gonna be a crazy round number 3. I guarantee it. Definitely.
Yep, definitely. To all of our viewers, muna tayo tubig because tubig is water. Round number 3 is now into the game.
Yeah, and now, ito na ang ating third round dito. Definitely, kailangan bumawi ng ating mga api. At ngayon, NRX 420 on the lead dito with 38 points plus yung first round pa. So imagine second round pala yun pero ang daming nila points. What more if i-add pa sila? So ngayon, kailangan na talaga bumawi ng iba. Or yung NRX 420 dito, kailangan nilang i-maintain yung consistency.
Definitely consistency will be the key here, and of course for everyone else, I guess they have to understand the situation. This is game time already. This is a do or die moment already. Either they be aggressive with the fights and they're gonna take in windows, or else they're not gonna see themselves almost at the top 3 basically here, and whatever engagements they're gonna have for round number 4 will not matter any longer now. This time, again, as we mentioned, no, the moment you land here, you have to win your gunfights, and unfortunately for some of them, losing already straight up, regardless of what their squads they're in. So medyo eto na yung aggressive moments that we are looking at right now. 3v2 situations for some of them. So again, they have to just get it in there and brave the odds and fight it off square on this time. I think it's a 3-1 setup here, no? So actually, it's not looking good for any of these teams right now, but I'll let you be the judge here, Sezi.
Yeah, and ngayon, no, SF dito. Actually, TNC is the good choice dito if you are your worst nightmare or SF because they are quite separated, especially Pierre dito, holding on by himself. But now, nagkakaano lang sila, nagkakaamuyan lang muna sila dito kasi syempre, this is the early game. Once you fall on the early game, the snowball of resources will not be possible. And your worst nightmare, uy, may nakikita siya dito ngayon and the wallbangs will be there. Pero hindi siya napatay dito kagad. Pero what a sniper.
Ano yun? Sinasabi niyo?
Eagle eye in the house. But still, hindi pa rin natapos yung bugbugan natin dito. Pero nagkakapaan lang muna sila dito, Koy Stad.
Definitely, they're trying their, I guess, for some of these squads, especially let's say for SF, no, they have to just play this one smart. They have to play smart. Don't take your shots. Don't give away your positions if you're not sure that you can engage with the gunfight. Kasi sayang eh. Because you're gonna give away position, everyone's gonna know here again. If you have a good sniper, you can just pop it off, and then you're basically done. That's not gonna be a good situation for you guys. So this time here again, you need to be sure when you pull out your gunfights. You have to be sure. Don't give away your position that easily. If you see them, don't just shoot immediately. That's gonna be a bad situation. So I mean, you have to really pop it in right now when you are dead sure that you can win this one. Or at least have a good chance of taking down your opponents, basically. So I think we're kind of, for the rest, I think they're slowing down a bit this time, no? So I guess what's happening is they're realizing that, yeah, we have to just make sure that we're okay. Placement points. I guess for some of these squads, they're now already thinking, well, we got to make sure that we get ourselves at least that extra 10 points if we manage to win down a bit. We're here. SDPH is just running around here, so we're not really sure what's the game plan for the rest. How far are they from the safe zone and what have you? But I guess that's what's actually feeling right now. So medyo ano muna, hinga muna for the rest, secure good loot, I guess. But for the rest who are already on the close engagement, that's when everything so, pushing in through this time to 1v3 situation.
Yep, 1v3 na papalibutan dito.
Mukhang
And that is the trap inside the smoke. So you have definitely a hard time seeing through that trap dito. Hindi mo na lang mamamalayan. Meron na bumibilog-bilog sa iyong screen dito. At ngayon, because there is 2 men down, KLN2 will be trying to secure that dog tag. Pero of course, uupuan talaga ito ng ating mga AOB Esports. And they will not let anyone pick up those dog tags. Now, 4K yan, nasa delikado sitwasyon against TNC, Tokyo, and Kiel na lang natitira dito. Paano kaya ito nila lalampasan as Alatski will finally go down. Pero Kiel, minamatahan yung ating helicopter. Ito na, si Mark dito mukhang madadali. Kaso, si Fade nanglilikod dito. At ngayon, nabubuhay pa rin si Kiel dito. 1v2 sitwasyon, pero Fade will take him down. And now, Tokyo natitira for this one. And Tokyo nga, buhay na buhay pa rin with the rewind class. And now, okay, the micro muna dito. And that's the rewind play coming from Tokyo. Now, positioning will come through. Second floor ngayon, magpa-parkour muna dito. Pero mukhang hindi yun niya muna makukuha yung ating parkour. But still, Kiel will be a dog tag. And now, information was secured. Tokyo for the second time will not be popping off that jump. And now, hinahabol ng batas. Rewind dito, hindi pa natatapos. And ngayon, Tokyo dito nag-ikot lang. And Kiel dito will be taking him down. Pero, on that opportunity, on that time, Kyun has been revived. Very, very crucial timing. And yung pag-stall Tokyo dito will let them live another day.
sacrifice move right there from Tokyo, managing to secure the scan already prior to being taken out by TNC here. This time, it's gonna be an absolutely crazy situation here. One more time, I told you, medyo pahinga lang tayo ng konti, pero medyo, I think it's just a chill moment right there. A little bit, looks like an engagement that just like false fire there for everybody else. And see, I'll let you take this one over. This is VVV versus HRA. 2 big players in the mix right now.
Snowboard out muna ang lahat. Pero syempre, this is Vacabonds. Hindi nila palalampasin ng ating mga HRA National going inside in that room full of traps. And now Tanjiro nag-out muna dito with the breeding form. Pero Odin will connect. A god aim coming in from Nash dito. Tanjiro hindi siya makakalakad. And ngayon matutumba sa gitna ng ating frozen river. And now the rest of the Vagabond squad will be going down for the backup dito. But the rest of Hashira Esports Homura will be forced to go outside this situation.
Aggressive play there from Vagabonds Esports right now. That's really a good move, I have to say. You're also securing your extra chopper ready, of course, to get your mobility, get it into the safe zone. That's a good move right there. I mean, we've seen here so far, no, particularly here with Isolated, the choice of weapons here for tonight is gonna be absolutely crucial for your gunfights. I think one of the masteries that we've seen so far, no, is I think I got the name right. The job and basically, no. So medyo yung interesting kasi sobrang you don't have yet an experience for the weapon for if you haven't had a chance to use it an MP, no, so this is the only place that you can use it so far as a BR, no? Pero we've actually seen a lot of the players using the new guns and in absolute perfection right now, and we still have 22 squads, and we have actually significantly had a long time of gameplay already here. So definitely we're seeing here everyone taking their time, making sure that they win their gunfights, probably for some, avoiding them for some unnecessary reasons, especially if you're trying to catch up points. But we will see what's gonna happen most likely here is if we hit almost the last few sections of the save zones, this is gonna be an absolute chaos match. Because right now we're 21, it's in a few minutes in already. This is gonna be an absolute crazy moment during the last few minutes. I think that's their plan. I think everyone's plan right now.
Yep, everyone's plan is to stall the time, survive until the last line, and now the inevitable clashes will definitely happen as so far AOB will fall down by 1 dito and they are outside the zone, I believe. And now, yup, 3, 2, 1. Mabubuhay pa ba? Pero mukhang hindi na matutumba si Nick sa labas ng zone dito. At ngayon, uy, buhay pa. Buhay pa. At ngayon, tutumba na. Dalawa silang tumba ngayon. Pero Lotus will be facing off against the Vacabonds Esports. And now, KSI and Cav dito will be just hiding in the buildings. Now, they have the advantage in this situation. Pero on the gunfight skills dito, magkakabubugan na. Now, the backup place is on for MCav. Kasama si KSI dito. And now, lalabas mo na with the BY-15 Mythic. The Ninja will be popped off pero seen through the enemy smoke as he will be swimming out of the dog tag. Focus lang sa goal dito. Sabay escort palabas ni MCav. Scanning the dog tags pero hindi na siya makakabot sa ating revival flight kasi nahulihan siya nating 1 second. And now, nagabang lang si Yato. MCav will be pushing pero he will be taken down by Yato. The rewind will be popped off and now hinahabol ng batas dito ang ating dalawa ng ating dalawang Vagabonds and they will be wiped out. Lotus dito will say goodbye for the round number 3.
Good play right there for Vagabond Esports. Really just letting the action come to them, knocking them out real good. Now this time, an absolutely crazy moment to get up top here.
Oh, 13 Academy. Nasa taas lang. Kaso, Narco Reborn, just utilizing the positions dito. Pero Ninja, liwanag, nakakita ng liwanag dito, natumba si Tom Pips. At ngayon, si Lint na natitira sa ilalim at si Glad, napakalayo niya. Ngayon, napapalibutan si Lint dito na 3 Narcotic Reborn. At mukhang siya ang na marireborn na maya-maya kung makakuha siya ni Glad. Kaso ito ang isang malaking bundok na kailangan niyang tahakin. Kailangan niyang lampasan ang challenge na ito. Dahil Narco ngayon, napaka-solid na kanyang depensa. Just utilizing all the covers in the launch base dito. But with the rewind, he can actually get this one. Pero napakahirap kasi kailangan niya pang lakarin yung ating mga stairs. Walang elevator dito. Pero makapag-rewind siya pag nakuha niya yung taas. At ngayon, gagapang lang muna siya. But ito yung damit niya dito eh. Puting-puti, kitang-kita dito. Hindi siya nakakulay green. At ngayon, maraming bantay sa itaas ng tower natin. Narco mukhang nakakaamoy na. At yan, lumilipad na ang ating mga ibon. Rewind out na rin ito. My God, nahuli siya. The snowboard is there. Mapipilitan siya lumabas dito sa ating bakbakan. At ngayon, goodbye muna sa kanya mga kasamahan. Pero mukhang magkakaroon pa ng bakbakan dito. If ever makahuli siya ng mga kasamang mga nasa labas ng zone dito. So ngayon, abandon mo na yung mga dog tag.
30, not in a good situation right there because definitely with how the dog tags are placed, it's way up high. Narco could just basically lock that one in, but unfortunately with the save zone pushing through, I don't really see them having the opportunity to come back into the matchup right now. And basically for Narco, they have to push through already, get into the save zone. They don't really need to defend the spot already this time. Again, high ground play again. This time for NRX, no? That's gonna be an interesting mix. We've seen this before. We see this again. Once you secure the high ground, I think what's happening for the map right now is almost to the mountain range area. So medyo someone has to secure this already. Get your loot perfectly well. Position yourself. Spot out your enemies. Just take them out all over the place. 15 squads remaining at this point. So we still have a long way to go here, Xezy.
Yeah, there's still a long way to go. Napakahaba na ng lumipas na panahon dito. Kaso, wala pa rin masyadong namamatay dito. It's still half of the whole population. And now, your worst nightmare, nagabang ng mga kalaban dito. Gusto niyang bawasan muna yung mga tao sa mundo. Kaso,
Yeah.
this is the round number 3 eh. So, you will expect talaga na everyone is fighting for survival, fighting for the 15 points because this is the make or break.
Yeah, basically, this is what we were mentioning before. So either they go full aggressive or the other way around, they go absolutely tactical. So as you see, VVV is on the side, Vagabond is on the other end. Your worst nightmare here is in this area. So medyo, they're trying to hold off each other. I think they're not trying to push through until the very, very end when it's absolutely necessary to take the gunfights. So that's gonna be a big question for Nash right here, moving through almost closing to your worst nightmare. Not sure what the game plan here.
Okay. 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 Push dito sa may rewind. It's a nice... yun yung magandang mga nagagawa natin mga rewind eh. Makakapag-amoy ka muna dito. Pero on the other side, KLN2 mukhang nasipat ng ating mga TNC ngayon. Nasa labas sila ng ating zone. And magkakabubugan sila kayo. Hindi nila papasukin yung isa't isa. And Max, patutumba dito. Reagan ngayon. Mukhang babakbakan si Miracle. Pero Kosei and Madrinka is on the high ground. Tumatakbo muna for their lives. Miracle ngayon nasa labas na hindi siya makapasok. Andito yung mga Blue Boys dito. Andito yung mga LTO, mga MMDA. Lahat na ng mga naka-checkpoint dito sa ating daan. Hindi sila mapapasukin dito. Pero ngayon, mukha pupunta sila sa gitna ng kawalan. Ang daming tao nakaabang sa ating high ground. And now, Kosei, gumagapang lang slowly but surely. At ngayon, yung ating mga Your Worst Nightmare at Narco nagkakabugbugan na. AK-47 and the M21 EBR will pop off. And now Hydra will be going forward with the smoke again. And now this is a smoke advantage trap. Will be revealing the enemies ngayon. And Andrea Good will be assisting towards the opponents. And now Weez, they will be taking down 2 opponents from Narco. And this will be a huge advantage now. They will be pushing forward towards the opponents. Again, for 20 and KLN2 is on the back ends ng ating mapa ngayon. Peanut, Boji, applying force onto Madrinka and Boji ngayon mukhang hindi matitigilan. Pero Kintaro will be finally meeting Weez dito. Kape and the rest of the Force 20 squad will be taking down the Your Worst Nightmare. And now Kram will be cramming away sa gitna ng kawalan. Madrinka is still safe, but there is the Vacabonds Esports on the back.
The tenacity of NRX right there. They were outside the safe zone, but they were able to push through, almost wiping out Your Worst Nightmare to that point. Kram's the only one left, basically. That's an interesting setup right there. Regardless of what damage they were getting from staying outside the safe zone, they were still engaging in the gunfights, absolutely winning them and shutting down almost everyone at that point. Almost a clean squad wipe, basically. But see, this is the thing that the other squads have to realize. When they're fighting with the big boys, they have to put on their big boy pants straight up right there. Unfortunately, Yato is managed to take out one right there. That's an interesting mix. Vagabond absolutely doing good well right now. So they have basically 7 points so far. VVV has 7. Vagabond is doing an absolute excellent performance so far, but this time it's VVV versus AOB on the mix. For Vagabond, they already have my match skills is gonna kill me right now. I need to add 7 for Blue. Yeah.
Oh no.
So got 5 lashes, 4 and D1 has 3 already. That's 14. 20, I think it's 20 points already for Vacabonds Esports right off the bat. That's really good. But this time, NRX showing off their skills as well, dealing with Dream, dealing with AOP. So, this is gonna be an absolutely crazy moment right here. I don't even know who's battling who right now. Says
and now, NRX for 20 Peanut has the snipes here as Dian will be taken down. And now, NRX 420 ang mag-occupy sa high ground na nakuha ng Triple V. Dahil napatumba sila dito, napilitan bumaba. And now, Boji nag-aabol lang. Sinasagasaan lahat na kanya makita ang mga Dream dito. Binabawian. Dahil ang mga Dream dito, kanina pa sila nag-i-snipe deadly. At ngayon, sila ay magigising sa kanilang panaginip. As NRX 420 bumababa na. Darat-alahin na dito ang ating mga tropa. Pero yung HRA na nasa ilalim ang pinakawawa. At ngayon, Dream Togo will be getting on the revival flight muna. Pero this will be Vagabonds versus NRX 420. But the high ground advantage is there. The rivalry will be on. Pero 3-on-4 sitwasyon. At ngayon, Vagabonds ang magpupush. And Demon, ninili ko na si Kintaro 1v1 sa itaas na yun. Pero Kintaro will be forced to go outside, go down. And now, the chase is there. Demon just being a demon here. And now, he will be taking down Peanut with the Odin. And now, NRX 420 will be pushed to go outside of this situation. Kintaro is still on the move. Nabuhay pa siya. The pumper is out. And now, the zipline is on. This is the chasing game. And Peanut is stalling the time here. Kintaro will be the last man standing. Peanut is down. And Vagabonds right now, 10 persons remaining, 10 players remaining. GienuaGaming nasa ilalim na din. The world is full of smokes. Nagkakainitan na, pero kita na mukhang mahuhuli dito. And now, it's time for GienuaGaming para hulihin natin mga Vagabonds na nag-iinit na with 20 plus kills ngayon. Hindi sila mapipigilan. Blue, Yato, they will be taking them down all, and they will be showing their dominance as the defending champions. At ngayon, ang natitira na sa libakbakan will be Dre, Fiji, and Nix na mukhang magbubugbugan. Mag-meeting muna dito paano nila huhulihin yung mga Vagabonds, pero Fiji ngayon nag-drive lang muna. Nix with the Ninja dito, but Dre ngayon mukhang makakahuli. Nahuli siya ni Blue dito. The smokes will pop off just to cover the tracks. And now Nix will be taken down. Last man standing, Fiji. Ngayon, saan ka magtatago? Vagabonds, hinahabol ka na ng batas. Ang Jack 12 ang huli sa kanya natitirang buhay.
What a ending to round number 3 right there. Vacabonds Esports just being an absolute monster from that last match right there, no? Although we have to give much love and respect for NRX420 for doing an excellent job so far, but when it comes to that clutch moment, almost to the top 5, VVV just went absolutely on basically on God mode, so to speak, no? That's really interesting. Look at this. Blue with 12. I think this is the first time we've actually seen double digits for tonight. Blue with 12, Yato with 6, Nash with 7, and Demon with 3. An excellent performance for Vacabonds Esports. Kudos to them right now. And again, they basically gave Hashira and NRX a run for their money for tonight. But that was Vacabonds Esports performance for round number 3 is just absolute dominance. I mean, to the very end, no they weren't able. I didn't really feel any sense of like fatigue from their end. This is it. This is what we've been expecting from these guys. So really good job to them. Question now is for the rest of the squads for round number 4. Will we see either again NRX push through the very end, or it's gonna be the defending champions basically winning it through and through, or perhaps once we tally up the scores, we could still see VVV taking this one home if they can secure round number 4. They've actually done so well so far, so good when it comes to their numbers. Although round number 1 not so much, but 2 for this one, 2 and 3 quite well actually. But again, once we have the numbers in play, that's when we're going to see the real situation for all the squads. I'm sure for all the viewers here tonight, no, medyo nararamdaman nyo na kung sinong posibleng mag-uwi ng kampeonato natin for this evening. But of course, it ain't over until it's over. One more round at Blackout, and we will determine who will bring home the championship for tonight. Will it be the defending champions, or will we see a new face for squad season 6?
Yep, at dahil dyan, ang magiging tanong, will Vagabonds still be the defending champions? We'll know that later on after we return in this short break, guys.
Oh yeah, baby. That was dope. No lie.
Can you try to understand how a touch can cause explosions? I'm too great to be landed. We're too great to be standing.
They never gonna stop us, fly at 'em like choppers, better cook those bricks, go one of my fists, we fly starters, one of a million more people, better than a body, network, never could toss, look at my eyes, I'm on the rocks, rise.
Oh yeah, baby. That was dope. No lie.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Squad Out Season 6. And definitely, squads are being out for round number 1, round number 2, and round number 3. Definitely, napakainit na laban natin from the latter part of round number 3, definitely. And Vacabonds Esports just really sweeping out the area, just being aggressive. We started a very slow pace, but then again, for the latter part, sobrang init ng laban natin, Quiz Dad.
Definitely. Actually, hindi sweep yung ginawa ng Vagabond. Agyu. Because they were coming in from the low end of the map right now. They just went basically push through the spot of NRX 420, the rest of the squads right there. It was basically a 4v4, v1v1, v1 situation during that last 5. But let's be honest, with the other squads being in solo mode, medyo they weren't really, there was little to no chance for them to push through to the very end. It was almost a matchup between these two highly respected squads, but Vagabond Esports managing to push through the very end, and now we are down to our final 4. The question is, who will reign supreme until the very end? Well, I think it's really safe to say, that the beast has been unleashed. All these monstrous squads have been coming in hot already, pushing through the battle, showing their expertise, showing their experience against the squads, showing against the squads na medyo young pa, so to speak, when it comes to these tournament situations.
Mute pala ako. Naka-mute pala ako. But then again, last round, match number 4, last chance for our teams to earn more points. We have seen gameplays on fire. We have Hashira taking the W for round number 1. NRX 420 on round number 2. Vacabonds Esports on round number 3. How much more if we will be jumping into round number 4? Definitely hindi pa natin masabi kung kanino ba talaga na in favored yung scores natin, and definitely not quite sure what's happening in right now. The scores medyo our scores right now, I'm currently checking on the scores. It's definitely a roller coaster kung sino ba ang magiging champion, first runner-up and the third, a second runner-up and first runner-up natin for this event, Xezy.
Yep, definitely. Hindi pa rin masabi ito. Kahit nakita natin yung mga dominating teams. But on the run of the tournament, whole tournament dito, wala pang talagang naging consistent whole out eh. So, yun yung magiging factor dito. Anyone can still win this one, or yung mga, at least yung mga naging eye-catching teams dito. But for sure, Vacabonds has established that big dominance, so they just need to seal it off.
Definitely. And just one thing I just want to point out from the series of Garena Survivors, day 1 to day number 3, we have seen a really dominance gameplay coming from 4K and getting the spot number 1 on Garena Survivors. Unfortunately, here in Squad Out, we are not seeing those very aggressive plays coming from their team. Sa tingin mo, Quiz Dad, ano yung nangyari sa 4K natin ngayon?
I think this is what we're saying earlier, no? There's gonna be the element of fatigue, the stamina, and how much left you have in the tank. I mean, if they've been playing for what as early as this afternoon until now, that's gonna take a toll on you already. I mean, regardless of how many minutes you have your breaks or whatever, it's still gonna put a pressure on your body already. I mean, you can only do so much. But what we're seeing here for the rest of the squads, particularly, let's say for NRX, 420, and Vagabond, as well as even XIII Academy and TNC, these kids are almost playing immortal mode right now. I mean, these kids have the full energy to push to the very end, and I think we're gonna see more of them during the round number 4. However, we've also seen significant squads that are very, very aggressive so far from the last 2 matches. Like say, Your Worst Nightmare has been absolutely good as well. AOB was trying to push through as well. Same thing with the Royal Kings and PTG. For the rest, we haven't really seen them. Also, Dream Crushers Valyrian was also being absolutely aggressive.
Yeah.
Much love and respect to these squads that they tried to engage with the big boys basically in this tournament. But again, experience will always be the key. The only thing that the rest of the squads may have to hope for is for the rest of the big players to go into basically on the rest mode already. Kumbaga, pagod na lang inaantay nila. If mapagod na sila, they could just seal this one off, hopefully push their luck, maybe at least a good solid or 3rd place. But for the 1st place, I think we already have an idea of some. I think it's about at least top 5 or 6 squads were batting it out for 1st. But the round number 4 will determine everything right now, especially with the current flight pan right now. It's a little bit up north, not a lot of good space. Everyone might go down south here, I guess, a little on the construction site, and the estates, I guess estate is gonna be a little close. So we've mentioned this before, that everyone loves to go on estate, so that's gonna be a big thing. We won't see it until the very end, but what we're seeing right now, I think everyone's gonna push through construction and estate talaga. So it's gonna be a absolutely crazy moments in the first few minutes, and then a little bit quiet again with the next few when we head out the next few rounds.
Oh, first blood.
Okay. First few minutes and first few bloods will be taken out in the action as SDPH will be -1 here, and now 13 is actually on the lead here in this situation. But we have 4 teams right now, and SDPH Royale 13 will be having this dogfight in this construction site, and now Glad ang gusto niyang bumakbak dito, kaso hindi makasamahan niya. Angel Cutie with the BY-15 takes down Hangin, and now hahabulin sila dito, kaso nagkakaroon lang talaga ng mala platform ng mga galawan dito. Counting tali-tali lang, pero naka-free hit dito si Angel Cute, and tutuluyan ni Tom Pips, and now 13 Academy is reaping up all the kills here in this construction site, but Angel Cute will be punished. And now Bugbugan ay
Yes.
tuloy-tuloy. Hindi pa rin matatapos dito hanggat may buhay, may pag-asa. At ngayon, Tom Pips will be finishing up the things here as Omama will be taken out. And now Omega ngayon ay akit muna sa ating stairs. Kaso Glad and Tom Pips is still here, pero Glad will be down. And now it's a 1v1 basically. And now Omega has the higher advantage, but Tom Pips dito, he has the skills to make this work. And now Tom Pips, he just needs to wait for Glad to make it onto this post. Pero Omega, he needs to deny Glad dito. And now there's the explosions. The explosives are not coming in. And Tom Pips will be taken out. 13 will be out of this situation. This is a deadly spot for our 13 as they will be going out of this game. Wala na silang chance na kapag top 4.
Omega just doing, basically Omega just doing an absolute job right there, wiping out an entire, officially making sure that 13 will not be participating anymore for round number 4 right there. This is what we're seeing. We mentioned earlier, no, that once we hit that first few minutes, win your gunfight straight out of the way. Make sure you're confident. This time we're headed to another spot. And the next 420. Not in a good situation with only Boji here. This is a turning again. This is basically like, was this Lotus move right here? That's gonna be an interesting mix that we're gonna see. But if they're able to turn the tides here, I mean, this is what we're saying for the rest of the squads. They can still win this if they win their gunfights really well. This is what we basically right now. NRX 420, where we're mentioning this is one of the big kids playing here right now, but we have them basically restarting their setup as one of some of the opponents managed to take them out already. For VVV, they're still complete so far, so good. But for the rest, again, it's gonna be a long waiting game for some of the squads here. So securing your loadouts would be absolutely important. All right. So again, we will be seeing a lot of quiet moments here, a lot of driving, a lot of chill moments muna, but you can't really just stay put and relax here. So you really have to uh, be absolutely alert and understand the situation, where you're at, where your opponents could be coming from, and what have you, because we can basically turn the tides here at any good or bad move, basically. Like here, Omega again making their presence felt with pushing through with KLN2 this time. But when the aggressiveness is, I guess, coming in from the other squads right now, which is absolutely good. So it's gonna be a big question if they can push through till the very end, hopefully secure them. But unfortunately, this time Royale is not in a good spot. The tides had turned on their end. What they did to 13 is now being done to them, with Omama the only one left from there. Not sure who took them out basically here, Xezy. So I think it's a 1v4 situation. I'm gonna leave this one to you. Oh,
Yep.
brother,
1v4.
it's done and done. Wow, that was fast.
Yep, naubos ka agad dito. Forced into a corner. And now, yung ating mga tropa dito, nagkakaroon na ng mga positioning around the map dito, making their presence felt. And basically, ano ang nangyari dito ngayon is napapatumba nila kagad yung mga big shots dito. And yung mga nagpapatumba sa kanila, sila yung mga nananahimik lang kanina, ngayon nag-iingay na. Kaya nagkakaroon ng pagbawi sa ating mga big shots. And now, si KE dito, mukhang meron sila sa bugbuga, pero TNC ang magiging katapat nila dito. Akitan nila ni Fate at mukhang i-absorb na ang ating mga atake. Pero andito pa rin Chewy dito. Nag-aabang lang sa kanto. Pero ito na ating pagbag. Ang backstab niya dito. At ngayon, the Fennec will be there. And the rewind will be there as well. At ngayon, back lang muna dito. Nagre-recover lang. Kasi ito yung ating long game coming in from CKE. And so far, very good defense. Utilizing the terrain here. The second space are there. And now the push is on. And a Max 10. The drop is there. And this is the advantage ng ating CKE when it comes to the buildings, and now they're just abusing it. They are outplaying TNC. They are playing their own game dito, and now TNC has no choice but to back off, and now pipilitin pa rin nila yung laro ng ating CKE, and now CKE will be punishing them. They have the loot, juicy loot so far, and sila na naman yung trap dito, but fate will run away as we will see another team SF just going solo, walang loot.
So far from that engagement though, being passive is actually really good. So we actually saw crisis, that's crisis, right? Crisis being a little bit passive, letting basically TNC come to them, hoping that they're not ready for the fight, but stood their ground, pushed through that, and managed to secure 4 points. Unfortunately, 2 of them are down and out, but 1 is coming back into the mix. So see, this is what we're saying. They just have to have that confidence to really engage, regardless of who their opponents are for their gunfights. So if you think you want to bait them out with a little bit passive, go ahead. But if you want to be a little bit more aggressive like the other ones, so long as you know that you can really win your gunfights and move absolutely well, then go ahead. 17 squads remaining. This is a little bit faster than what we've had earlier. Kasi kanina, the first few minutes were just almost like one squad pa lang ang nawawala, but for the rest, I mean, we're down to 50. 2 squads just got wiped out in like what, a minute? That's a really amazing moment. 48 players right now left from our end, and I think it's gonna be CLN versus Vacabonds Esports here. On a card chase, I guess. It's gonna be a big question if they're gonna push through this one.
Yep, they are gonna push through with this one. Ngayon, binagsakan na ni Nash dito. At ngayon, magkakabubugan na. The Jackal will be popped off. And now, Nash has the rewind ready. Nag-rewind na siya dito, pero Jello will be taken down. Ngayon, nagkakabubugan yung kanilang mga saksakyan. At isa na lang natitira, Shabe ang matitira. Pero hindi niya na makukuha ang mga dog tag ng kanyang mga kasamahan dito. Vagabonds establishing a very dominant stance on this clash. And Narco is looking to go for a third party, but the numbers are not sufficient. So they need to avoid Vagabonds at all costs because naghinip pa yung ating mga Vagabonds dito. And you won't want to face them off while they are hot right now.
Definitely, you don't want to be. This is not the situation to go in and fight with the biggest kid in the block. If you're just alone, this is not going to be a good situation for yourself. Please make sure to really be tactical about this. Again, if you're in a 1v4 situation, basically if you're unable to get the squads back into the mix, go for your placement points. Please finish strong, just like how the rest of the squads are coming in. And basically, AOB right now got wiped out already, all thanks to KLN2. A big example of unfortunately, not winning your gunfights against the big kids on the block here. But it can still turn to anybody's ball games with half of the squads down and out, and again, riding through the systems here. So we could still see a new squad. Only Cafe is left left to his own devices. Basically, for the rest of the squad will not be coming back into the mix. I think Intaro could still probably come in, but we're not sure with that. So 11 squads remaining. Everyone who's basically almost some of the squads that have been passive have been absolutely aggressive right now. So with almost down to the up 10, we're heading out to the danger zone here, Xezy.
Yep, we are now heading on the danger zone dito. At ang dami nang mangyari.
Okay, there you go.
Dami nang mangyari dito na bugbugan. Tignan mo naman, oh. 50, oh yan na. Ito yung ating sinasabi dito. Frag grenade from Mitsuki takes down 2. At dahil sa pagsabog ng bomba na nilagay sa checkpoint dito, HRA will be wiped out. And KLN, dalawa lang yung natumba sa kanila, pero napakasulit na as long as walang sumasaw-saw dito. Pero the smokes will be popped off para sa ng safety net, and they will be securing the resources. So that is a big win, no? Securing the kills and securing the resources. Very, very dominant start. And 28 teams na natitira, so 9 teams remaining. And because of this, because of the fast-paced games dito, maya pa sila magbubugbugan kasi malaki pa yung zone para magkita-kita sila dito.
Definitely. So there will be again a calm before the storm. Sabi nga natin, but we have seen some of the squads really basically engaging at the first half right off the bat. So the goal here for all 9 squads here is to make sure that they survive. Make sure to just be calculative with your engagements. And say for Kabe here, who's not really in a good situation, would still need to wait out for the rest of the teammates to come back in before he engage, because anybody fighting a 1v4 situation will not win it perfectly.
Yep, and now CKE will be taken down by 4K dito. At ngayon, Alatski mukhang hindi siya nag-aalat dahil sa mga points na sinabi natin kanina dito. At ngayon, Chewy, napapanguyan na lang sa sakit ng ating Jack 12. At dito rin sa CKE natin, will be EV running away for his life. Hindi niya na nako yung dog tags dito. Mapipilitan siya tumambay sa labas ng zone. Pero mukhang mamaya-maya makita nyo ating NRS 420. Now, going back sa mga points natin kanina dito, this is the calm before the storm, and this is the intro ng mga mangyayari mamaya-maya. And now that NRS 420 has the vehicle, they can roam around, they can have the third party anytime they want. Because this is what Blackout offers to the flavor dito. You need the vehicles in order to establish dominance. And once you establish this dominance, these loots, you can conquer everyone. And look at this. Looking at the formation ngayon, KLN2 has the higher advantage. And now, Kyun will take down one. Ito yung maging advantage ng 4K natin. The numbers and the mechanical skills. But KLN dito, Kosei will be forced to retreat. Pero nahuli ni Tokyo dito with the sniper, and Salty na kanina para sa third party will take down one. At ito na yung sinasabi kanina. Vagabonds dito ang hahabulin ng 4K ngayon. Atras mo sila sa bahay at mukhang magkakaroon ng malaking bakbakan. This is the battle of the two kings. At ngayon, nagkakaamuyan muna. The traps will pop off. And this is how the pros play. Securing all the buildings that they can. This is the geographical advantage, no? Terrain advantage. And 4K Kyun will secure the tower, the silo dito, which will give them the options to go for the sniper. Now, Vagabonds dito will be going out muna kasi 4K is slowly establishing their position eh. And Vagabonds is slowly losing their advantage. So now they will be forcing to retreat. And because of these adjustments, they will have the upper edge once again. Look at that damage against Alatski. That is what we are waiting for here, Quizdad.
Definitely, no. So if you're able to garrison your position already, hold up the defense line, and then push through to whoever is going to be coming in your way, well and good. But if you also have to understand when the situation is not good for you, when you're garrisoning a spot that is not really favorable to your end, then get out of there, and of course find a better spot. Of course, make sure to move tactically from your end. We can see Dream is also securing their own respective spot here. They're not really moving so much. I think they have an idea that there are some squads roaming around already. A bit of a bug there. Anyway, moving on, we still have 8 squads remaining. Crisis still alive here. NRX 420 with the rest of the squad back in Phoenix. Lotus is still alive, and as well as Vagabond. 4K is all good as well. But 4K engaging with Dream right now. So open grounds here. This is gonna be where you need to go for your long to mid-range weapons. So this is the thing. Well, I think we haven't really discussed this. Ooh, hello, Casey.
Okay. Hello. Lotus right now breaking through the Vacabonds Esports. Binangga sa labas ng smoke dito para mabulaga sila, pero 4K nasa bandang unahan lang, nagabang lang dito ng tempo para makapag third party. And remember, Tokyo has the sniper. This will be spelling the disadvantage for Lotus. At ngayon na, Alatski going forward against the Lotus squad dito. Unti-unti na nila susugurin. Alatski going forward. Jackal dito. 1 versus 3 with the backup sa likuran. And Alatski nag-iinit. 12 kills na ang andito for Alatski. At mukhang meron pa siya mamamadali dito kasi meron pang 12 na players na titira para ubusin ng 4K. Pero ang tanong mamaya, kaya ba nilang ubusin or Vagabonds magkakaroon ba sila ng bigla ang lakas dito? Pero andito pa rin yung NRX 420, so they have still strong contenders which will prove to us that this is still not 4K's game, but maybe they are going there at mukhang yun yung makikita natin eh. The foreshadowing is there. Looking at the momentum ng ating 4K with 12 kills under Alatsky's belt, we can definitely see how they will go in that direction.
Yeah, definitely. Regardless of the situation right now, with Alatsky having an absolute performance tonight, we can definitely say that they can still have a shot at this. But the question lang is, can they? Basically from this setup, aside from Crisis, they're almost and NRX 420, they're the only squads that are rather aside from Crisis Kings, they're the only squad that is complete. So yun na lang yung advantage nila. The numbers game is in their situation. For CKA, they also have that. Unfortunately, they haven't really been pushing through with the engagements right now and firing at any opponents basically, regardless of whether or not this is more of the tactics of just playing it safe, going for placements until the very end, because this is top 5 already. I mean, this is very safe for you guys. Narco on the other end, it's a duo situation. But I guess CK is gonna brave this one out against NRX. Let's see what's gonna happen with this one.
Yep, let's see what will happen in this squad right now. CKE nasa gitna ng ating 4K and NRX 420 na Alatsky is still going for the killing spree right now. CKE walang magagawa na natago lang sa damuhan dito. Eevee like a Pokemon. Pero matutumba sila na sabay-sabay as 4K gonna catch them all. And now, NRX 420 ang susunod na punteriya ng ating 4K, pero kailangan nila mag-recover by KL dito. And now the smokes are coming through, pero may mga granada tumutumba dito, and now Kape with the Frostbrand AK going for the smokes, pero wala siyang makita sa loob ng ating smoke dito. This is basically NRX 420 versus 4K na may kasamang Vagabonds at Narco, pero ngayon ang ating mga bida ay makapapako sa each sides natin, and 4K will go for the relocation as NRX 420 is slowly pushing together against 4K. And now, nasa gitna sila ng mga 4K natin. Sumusugod dito. Napakatapa ng mga NRX 420. And now, mukhang konti na lang ang maglalaban-laban dito. Mag-isa na nating Vagabonds. And now, it's a 3-on-3 situation. NRX 420 and 4K nasa gitna ng formation. And now, NRX 420 has the cover. Alatsky will go down. The ace of 4K is down. And now, Tokyo will try to go for the 1v2. Pero buhay na buhay pa rin ang rewind dito. Nasa loob ng ating mga smoke. Hindi sila makita. Pero Nash dito, gumugusto. Hindi na napapansin. Pero ngayon, binigyang pansin. Naipit sa gitna dito. And Nash will slowly go down. Isang pitik na lang. Isang ihip na lang ng hangin. Matutumba na. And Tokyo Peanut, gumugusto. Gusto nilang kunin to. At ngayon, Peanut biglang liko. Hindi pa rin nila pinapakay si Nash dito. At ngayon, nagkakarambulan na. Mukhang Nash will be getting out. And the rewind will be on now. Kintaro ngayon, tinatarget si Nash. And naga-snowboard dito. What a name by Peanut. And now, wala nang outsider. 1v1 bugbugam dito. 3v2 ngayon sitwasyon. Tokyo with a max. And the snowball will be popped off. Now, Peanut right now going on to the 1v1. Peanut will take down Tokyo. And now, Kyun 1v3 will be going for the suicide as that will be a denial. Pero Peanut, kumusto pa rin at kinuha ang huling dugo.
NRX 420 surviving the odds. Although they did not start quite well in the first few minutes of the match, finished strong to the very end. But again, kudos to 4K's, particularly to Alatsky, to an absolute performance right there. Double-digit skills. That's gonna put them in a really good situation. Ready. Hopefully, if we tally up the scores, I'm sure that made a significant impact for them. But again, the Kings, NRX 420, right at it again. Peanut at 4, Kape at 2, Poji at 3, and Kintaro at 1. Not as stellar as we've had in the past, but nevertheless, this is still gonna have plus 10 as they finish strong, taking in first place. For the rest of the squads, that's basically it for all of them. We have to give a kudos definitely to 4K's for pushing it through the very end and giving the fight to NRX 420. For Vagabond Esports, That was still a resilient effort, but I have to say, Peanuts kill right there is definitely a clip moment that we've had for the night.
Yep, definitely. And compared to, yung nga kanina sinasabi kanina, no, compared to the other performance ng NRX 420, that compared to the other performances nga ng NRX 420, kanina nung ating, I believe that was the second round
Mm,
dito, their kills are not that big. Pero, they will be denying the 15 points and they will be taking that for themselves. So that will be the biggest factor. So
mhm.
ngayon, nakita na natin, dalawang panalo for NRX for 20. Mukhang may naamoy na ako dito. Naamoy na rin ba ang ating mga nahuhulaan dito? Looking at things, it's very favorable for the side of NRX for 20. But we will confirm the results after this short break. Kaya guys, tutok lang kayo. Kasi after this very, very short break, i-announce na natin ang panalo, the champion of Squad Out Season 6. So, see you after this short break.
Rise, part of my size, trying to make sense of it all comprised. Yeah, highs, winning these skies. Never stuck there, feeling paralyzed, but I'm up now. We all too late to fall. Yeah, anyone coming, I'ma lift them all. Never look down when it's risk of all. Think I got kind of learn, I gotta waste it all.
Can you try to understand how a touch can cause explosions? I'm too great to be landed. We're too great to be standing.
They ain't never gonna stop us. Fly at 'em like choppers. Better cut through here. Cool, but I'm on things we fly. Starters. One of them a million movies so far. I'm gonna get on that road, network. Never could toss. Look at my eyes, I'm on the rocks. Rise.
Oh yeah, baby. That was dope. No lie.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, big shout out to all of our viewers. Please don't forget to like and share the stream. We are also live in other streamers that we had the from the earlier modes matches natin, eliminations and semis. Sorry na guys, but there you go. We are all live from the different streamers, casters natin from the past matches. But then again, grand finals round number 4 was just I'm so parang hindi pa nagsisink in sa utak ko that the gameplay in there coming from 420 NRX 420 against 4K, very unstoppable pa rin talaga ang 420 natin. But then again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for a moment, we will be having the scoreboard. So, balikan natin. Sariwain natin yung round number 1 natin to round number 4 by XtobaL'z Gaming and Gaming with Dad.
Yep. And as we are waiting for the scoreboards dito, no, looking back at things dito, first round is taken by Hashira Esports Homura with the very excellent positioning against Triple V. And then second will be our NX420, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Dito sa
Yes.
Blackout location, getting the win. And then yung ating third dito, I believe it was
Vagabond.
Vagabonds. Yeah, Vagabonds, yung ating defending champions. But they failed to put up and keep up that statement as the defending champions ng ating squad out. And now, sa ating final na bugbugan, sa ating fourth round, it was NRX 420 versus 4 Kings on that final circle. And there are two things that we should watch out.
Mm.
4 Kings has a lot of kills. Sumobra
Mm.
yata ng 20 yung kanilang kills doon, while NRX 420, they took the first place. Now, judging by that situation, hindi pa natin malaman kung sino yung nakalamang sa fourth round. But for sure, NRX 420 has taken that second round. So it will greatly boost their gap against 4 Kings.
Definitely their aggressiveness played off really well, no? As we can see for NRX 420, regardless of the round one and round three, uh, they definitely put their spot in a they're already in a good spot. But is that enough for them to basically take the crown from Vagabond Esports as the new champion of Squad Out Season 6? That remains the question. Now, let's just go back to all the matches that we've had for this evening. So basically, what we've seen here so far now, one thing that is very evident is the absolute use of smokes throughout the matches, particularly for open fields in blackouts. What does that mean? Obviously, you have to be strategic with your covers, and that's the thing that's the lesson that we've seen from all of these pro players. No, we could call them pro players basically. So when you're tight situation, you want a good advantage to your gunfights. Pop in that smoke. Do not disregard that, and then of course use it sparingly when it's needed. Use it. Next, of course, the Odin is really an OP right now, especially for all the plays. I think it was Alatsky also was using it a little bit with the Odins, and of course I think again snipers is always gonna be a good play. I mean we've seen this earlier within the last few minutes for NRX 420, that beautiful snipe. I mean it was a movie sniper
Yeah.
kill.
Yeah.
I mean like what that I mean, kids, you have to rehearse your strafing. You have to rehearse your strafing. That's an excellent reason why you have to rehearse your strafing. And your tracking right there. It's a beautiful track right there. Pop that one and done. Beautiful, beautiful shot right there. And of course, the rest again, securing your basically your fronts, your garrisoning your possessions. So we've
Yeah.
seen a lot of moments right there that is like a 1v3 situation, 2v2 situations that they was players were still able to defy the odds and beat out the numbers game. Why? Because they had a good spot already. Let's choke points. It's gonna be a big situation. Let's say for um during the another matchup that we actually saw na NRX was coming in from the inside going to the rooftop. Someone was already got, I think it was TNC if I'm not mistaken. Someone was already out there. Pre-aim that one, pepper right away, one out. Another one goes in, another one out. And then of course if you cannot engage it anymore, get out of the situation. So these little things really are very important in winning your gunfights. So you have to really practice them out really well when it comes to the squads. It's almost like academic for them to do these things, and we've seen them really do an excellent job pushing through uh the very end of the matchup. And I guess for round number 4 particularly, no, so it wasn't as fast paced as we wanted, but it wasn't as low as we've had during round number 3. So that really, I think for some of the squads, they kind of felt that the need to really push through the very end and hopefully, get some numbers up there in their scoreboards. But the big question is, Colicx, who won tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we go. Pinaka-aantay nating lahat. Results for the Squad Out Season 6. Dang, I mean, it's unexpected. It's anybody's
Really?
ball game. But then,
Nako.
meron na kagad.
Nako.
It's unexpected. Oh my goodness. But then
Oh
again,
my
it's
goodness.
everybody's ball game. Walang nakapaghula kung sino mananalo kahit si Rudy
Nako.
Baldwin.
Okay.
Legit
But
ba
then
yan?
again, before
Legit ba to?
yes, but then
Okay.
before we get into the scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here the scoreboard. Pinakaantay nating lahat. Ladies and gentlemen, with
Kaya?
the drum roll. Tugudugudugudugudug.
Mano.
Paano? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Charot lang. NRX 420
Oh, okay.
getting the champion for Squad Out Season 6, followed by Vacabonds Esports, our back-to-back. Our defending champion from Season 5 of the Squad Out, earning 84 points. 4 Kings won the third points with a 71 points. VVV Vici with a 56. Hashira Esports, our winner for round number 1 with the 55 points. AOB Esports with the 40. 13 Academy earning 33 points on their team points. 33 points as well coming from Cerulrean Esports Legion. 32 on SDPH Apocalypse. 30 points for KLN2 Danger. 29 for TNC Blackfyre and Xezy for the rest of the teams.
Yep, and yun na, and the rest of the teams natin dito, KLN2 Altruism, 28 points, Lotus Vigor, 25 points, Narcotic Reborn, 24 points, Crisis King 00, 24 points, together with your worst nightmare Hades now, NRX 69, 22 points, Riley Ares, 21 points, TNC Emperors, 20 points, Royal Kings, 15 points, TNC Supremo, 9 points, PTG Meraki, 7 points, and Sola, Fide, Magnus, 3 points. And nakalain mo yun, Colicx and Dad, no? Vagabonds pala yung second place. Akala natin, NX 420 and 4 Kings yung naglalaban, pero Vagabonds yung humahabol with just 6 points lang ang natira dito.
Definitely, definitely unexpected. We have seen gameplays on fire. Definitely a 1 point that we could wait, ang tagal ko muna. Ang ingay, pre. But then, pointing out the 2 W's of 420, very big thing for them to boost their points into the top number 1, Quiz Dad. Up! Di kaya tarinig.
Ay, there you go.
Ayun, there.
Okay.
There you go.
Sorry. As I was saying, NRX 420's win on round number 2 and round number 4 basically solidify their spot here for Squad Out Season 6. Although kudos to Vacabonds Esports for putting up an absolute fight. That's like 6 points. I mean, that's like konti na lang eh. But nevertheless, as we've mentioned, as we've seen earlier, we've said 4 Kings, regardless of which that they were not really locking in the top spot, they were actually doing excellent gunfights. So that's why they were able to secure 3rd place already. But the tenacity of NRX 420, despite the fact that they have been fighting, they were part, right? If I'm not mistaken. Tama ba? Yes, they are. They were part of Garena matchup tonight. Partida pa yun. I mean, these kids have been fighting all afternoon until the very end of the evening. It's already 11:26. They still have the stamina to go through and push through to the very end, win 2 matches, place points, and of course, secure the victory for tonight. Also, again, kudos to Vagabond Esports, again, for locking in an excellent matchup, and as well as 4 Kings. But for tonight, again, I believe all the fans of NRX 420 are absolutely happy for tonight and celebrating with them as well.
Yep. So, congratulations. I guess this will be the comeback, and we will be seeing more coming from NRX 420 on the Garena Survivors. So, definitely, abangan ng mga viewers natin yan. And again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is I, Colicx Gaming, your host, and XtobaL'z Gaming. Gaming with Dad. Our shoutcasters for the grand finals. Thank you very much for the support. And again, big shout out to all of our viewers supporting their stream, supporting their teams, supporting their friends and their players. Thank you very much. I just want to have this moment, guys, to thank all of our admins of this event, Bridget Baleares, Marian Maniago, Ate Moel, and definitely the casters of the eliminations to the semifinals. We have Carlos Salcedo, that is Cali Gaming. Eilish Eilish Carol, that is Redmond Gaming, Wonderboy Gaming, Atemoel, and Tango TV. Thank you very much, and to all of our sponsors for this event, XtobaL'z Gaming, Monsta Gaming, GienuaGaming, and MommyOhhw Gaming. MommyOhhw, I love you all. Thank you very much again. This is Colicx Gaming. And gaming with that same, together with me, with Xezy, Colicx, nagugulo na ako. Squad Out Season 6, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, is done. NRX 420 taking the win. Thank you very much and magandang gabi.
Can you try to understand how a touch can cause explosions? I'm too great to be landed. We're too great to be standing.
They ain't never gonna stop us, fly man, I'm like choppers, better come through here, cool, but I'm on this, we fly, starters, one of them a million will be so better than a protein network, never could toss, look at my arms, I'm on the rocks, rise.
Oh yeah, baby. That was dope. No lie.